What is up, you beautiful, beautiful sons of bitches? It is the Week 12 Start or Sit show, the Q&A show, the TFA fam show. This is the people's show. We are here for you. It is got your two usuals rocking with you, me and Kevin. Find him on Twitter at FantasyRat13. You can find myself on Twitter at CKutzerFF. And we are joined by a TFA first timer. That is Angela. You can find her on Twitter at MKE half chubs. Not full chubs, just a half chubs. Angela, how are you?
I'm great.
Say what's up to the TFA fam, and don't let Kevin say anything. Introduce yourself, how long you've been playing fantasy, all that good stuff.
So I'm actually been playing fantasy for 2 seasons. This is my second one. I'm completely obsessed, and I spend all my time on it, and I live in Milwaukee, Wisconsin. Go Pack.
How awesome is Al Lazard is really the only question that I have.
He is pretty amazing, but honestly, my favorite new player is MVS. After last week, I felt so sorry for him because he was that fumble, and then he was just kneeling on the ground. I was like, oh my god, he's gonna cry. Like, I felt so bad for him. So now he's my new favorite.
Kev, what's up, buddy?
What's happening? It's the night before. It's the night before Thanksgiving. It
is, man. Are you? Do you actually consider Thanksgiving? Or you just skip over and go right to Christmas?
I pretty much skip right over it, but it's like a Christmas, and then it's like one block out. We'll celebrate Thanksgiving, and then it's right back on to Christmas again.
I won't put anything up for Christmas until after Thanksgiving.
Oh, the Christmas tree's been up for
since July 4th. Kev.
It's been about a month. It's been up.
Oh my god! Well, it's 2020. Whatever.
Yeah, no rules.
Right.
YOLO.
We all gotta survive. Mm-hmm.
All right, guys. So what we're gonna do? Just our normal show. I want to run through some news and notes. We'll start getting to your questions as they start getting in. And then, Kev said, obviously, Thanksgiving Eve, we are going to open up the stream for everybody. We know that, tonight is normally a night that a lot of people get together and drink and hang out. And obviously with COVID, that is not possible this year. So gonna bring the hangout virtual. Just anything goes. We'll talk fantasy. Last time we did one of these, we were talking like gross, cheap beers and Kevin waking up naked in a hobbit hole. It was it got a little weird, but hey, that's to be expected. So grab your drinks and we'll start getting into this. So just some news and notes I want to run over real quick. Obviously, the Ravens and Steelers game has been postponed to Sunday. Kev was throwing a fit about that being removed from the DK, the DFS slate. You're still going to be without J.K. Dobbins and Mark Ingram, even with this game being postponed, which also sucks because J.K. Dobbins finally, they seemed like they were finally going to give him the majority of the touches and the majority of the workload. Not now. Claus Campbell is also on the COVID IR list, so that's obviously going to be a big help for the Steelers in their run game. Along with DeAndre Swift, he is questionable. Looks like Kenny G is going to be out along with Danny Amendola. One thing I did not realize is that Mohamed Sanu is on the Lions squad. I literally had no idea he was with the Lions. DeForest Buckner was put on the COVID list as well. His status is still up in the air. I guess he hasn't quite been ruled out. But obviously, if he is out, that's going to be a big boost for Derrick Henry. Some good news, Austin Eckler returned to practice. He still has not been activated off of IR, so I'm good. Him returning to practice, obviously a big step in the right direction. Myles Gaskin returned, but he was wearing a non-contact jersey. David Montgomery, Sammy Watkins, both got in full practices. Raheem Mostert and Chris Carson appear on track to return. Let me think. What else was going on? Everything we've all been waiting for. The star-studded list of quarterbacks that we've just been yearning for. We didn't understand why we weren't getting it, but we have goddamn Mike Glennon and Brandon Allen making their long-awaited returns as starters in the NFL this week. So it's man, it is super, super exciting. How could we go on without Glennon and Brandon Allen?
Long neck linen.
Kev, are those the skeleton keys to the DFS slate on Sunday?
Fuck no. I don't know how that son of a bitch still is even in the league. It's great. You know, it's a good life being a backup quarterback in the NFL. I'm telling you, you get paid all kinds of money. It's like Chase Daniel. He's made like 40-some million in the NFL, and he started like 3 games in his career. Like,
I mean, I'd do it.
Fuck yeah, I would. I'd be a long snapper in the NFL. You know how great that is to snap the ball and call it a day?
Right.
Especially now with the rule that like you can't line up over top of the long snapper. So you don't even have to worry about getting hit. Just get it to the placeholder and you're golden.
I mean, yeah, that's the life I should have chosen.
Yeah, all of us. that is the life. What are you guys looking forward to? Let's just start with Thanksgiving in general. Favorite dishes for Thanksgiving. What's the thing you look forward to the most?
I think I look forward to Moscow mules the most, and then after that, probably the Thanksgiving stuffing.
Yes, stuffing. Fuck you, Kev.
Well, I mean, it's not like it's, stovetop. Like, obviously, like, my mom makes it, and it's really good and homemade and inside the bird and all that. What about you guys?
Stuffing is the stone cold fucking worst, is what I hate stuffing.
No.
It is like the kicker of the Thanksgiving meal.
Your mom doesn't make it right then.
I just don't. I just have never liked it from ever. Like, I just can't stand it.
That just tells me you've never had a good stuffing. Just fucking ties everything together.
Mm-hmm. I completely agree. And when it's like saturated in turkey juice, so good.
And then the next day at the leftovers, you make the whole like mix and mash bowl.
Mm-hmm.
Like you got everything just all in one bowl.
Mm-hmm. It's like a Buddha bowl. Yeah, it's so good. But what is yours, Kevin?
One, I don't really like turkey, so I'm much more of a ham guy. And then the sweet potato casserole is my go-to. Absolutely love that.
The marshmallows on top?
No, like it's like cinnamon and brown sugar stuff on top. It's like crumbles. Oh, it's good.
Oh, that does sound really good, actually.
Yeah.
Kev, do you do any of the cooking?
Fuck no. Watch football.
Right.
I was waiting for, like, you know what? My specialty every year I make it. The fucking green bean casserole is mine.
Ugh.
Like,
Yeah.
I was waiting for you to have like one, like a signature dish.
So gross.
Yeah, I cannot stand green bean casserole is the worst.
No, that is nasty stuff. Like, what's in that? Like that canned mushroom soup? No. Mm-mm.
It is so gross.
Well,
I guess.
Ugh.
What are you guys looking forward to football wise? Is there anything that sticks out to you, like week 12? Any storylines you're paying attention to, or anything like that, or just anything in general of what you're looking forward to in week 12?
I'm looking forward to hopefully Miami like hammering the freaking Jets. And I have a little concern because I feel like every time that my lineup is like all in on a game, like that game screws me. And I have like 3 different Dolphins in, and I just feel like this is going to be the Jets' first win, and my guys are just going to get pounded. But I'm hoping not, obviously, and I'm hoping that like Devontae Parker racks up a bunch of points. Like I drafted him, and then I dropped his ass because he was just like doing nothing, and then I picked him back up this week and like apologized, and hopefully he'll get me some points this week.
Also, speaking of the Jets, LaMichael Pirine hit the IR.
Yeah, I don't know if you mentioned it either, but Giovanni Bernard also
Concussion.
Yeah, it does not sound like he's going to play.
Yeah, he's garbage anyway. Like, seriously. I had him for a few games and dropped him. Like, I just don't feel like he was doing much of anything.
Well, no, and it's not going to be any better now.
Either. Yeah, it's definitely not going to be any better now.
Yeah.
What
I think
a
it's time
shot.
for people to say goodbye.
What a shot to the groin with that Burrow injury. Super
Mhm.
unfortunate.
Right. Like now you really can't trust anybody there.
Kev, before we jump into these questions, anything on your mind as far as football goes for Week 12? Anything you're really going to be paying attention to, or a game you're excited about, anything like that?
Well, we do got some good games on Sunday. Tomorrow is going to be kind of a train wreck. I mean, the Detroit game has potential to be fun, but without Kenny Golladay, hopefully we get DeAndre Swift. I think that'll even it out a little bit because Houston's defense is terrible. But I mean, on Sunday we're going to get Mahomes versus Brady, which should be fun.
Mm-hmm.
I think the Raiders and Falcons game has potential to have a lot of upside. So, I mean, I think there's some good games. I actually kind of think I'm kind of intrigued by the Eagles and Seahawks game on Monday night. I think that game could be a lot of fun too. I know the Eagles offense has kind of been Jekyll and Hyde a little bit this year, but I think this is a good bounce back spot for that offense.
I don't know. I think Carson Wentz is such trash. Like, I'm so done with him. I didn't even have him, but I'm done with him. Like, I had to drop Fulgham because I was like, this is just not working for me. Like, I don't feel like I can trust Wentz, and therefore I can't trust any of the guys he's throwing to.
He is hard to trust. I mean, which is weird, though, because he played so well. I mean, at least fantasy-wise, against Pittsburgh and Baltimore, which are two better defenses. I mean, threw up 30 points in each one of those. But then against the Giants, which the Giants, it is an underrated defense. Like, the Giants' defense has actually been pretty good this year in limiting opposing offenses. But, yeah, I mean, the game against Cleveland, which was the rain game and everything else, like, it's just, I don't know. It's been so Jekyll and Hyde with them this year.
The Giants have been like a quietly good defense. You're right. Like they really like people aren't talking about it, but it's there.
Yeah.
It's just so hard to click that checkbox next to their name to plug them in your lineup.
I played them a ton this year. I think I played them in at least 3 or 4 weeks.
You play the Giants defense?
Oh yeah.
Dang. Like
he's proud of that one.
Yeah, I don't think I trust them that much.
They've done well. I mean, they've scored multiple points. I mean, I think in at least 3 or 4 weeks this year. I mean, with double-digit fantasy points. So they've done well at getting pressure on the quarterback. They've done well at limiting the run, and they've done a pretty good job as well as of turning the ball over. So they've been a pretty good defense. I mean, they got James Bradbury who's shutting down one side. And so, I mean, the Giants defense, has surprisingly been much better than what I was expecting.
For sure.
I mean, I have the Steelers, so like I'm not like fussing with the Giants. But I'm impressed that you've been playing them.
Good for you, Kev.
Yeah.
Good for you, buddy. All right, we got our first question here coming from Alejandro. Appreciate you jumping in with us. Good to see you in here. Is T. Higgins droppable with Joe Burrow's injury?
Yeah, I think so.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it depends on who you're dropping for. I'm not dropping him for anybody. I still think he's got to be the number 2 target. And they're gonna have to throw the ball. They're gonna have to throw the ball to somebody. There's still gonna be fantasy points scored. If the Jets can score some fantasy points, I think these guys can. I think Brandon Allen's actually a better option than Ryan Finley. So I think Tyler Boyd is fine. You probably drop him down from a wide receiver 2 to probably a low end wide receiver 2, wide receiver 3. I think Nyheim Hines is still a decent, at least a flex option. But if there's somebody else available on your waiver wire, I think you can drop him.
I have T. Higgins, and I'm going to keep him on my bench this week and see what happens. But if he doesn't do anything at all this week, he's gone. Bye.
Yeah, I think it's one of those situations where if you're a team that's like trying to push for that playoff spot, you can definitely drop him to pick up somebody who you're going to feel more confident plugging in your lineup this week. But if you're sitting pretty and you can kind of just wait on him, you can do that too. But there's definitely no reason that you have to hold on to him, especially if there's somebody out there who can replace him pretty easily and just jump right into your lineup. Alexis Season wants to know McKissick or Mike Davis this week. I'm going to go Mike Davis on that one. Angela, what do you think?
I'm going to go Mike Davis also. I dropped McKissick, but I am running with Davis personally this week. But I guess, it depends if it's PPR too a little bit. I still think Davis, though.
Yeah, I just think with Washington McKissick has done a lot better. You mentioned the PPR aspect. He's done a lot better whenever they're trailing because he's going to soak up all those targets. But against Dallas and that awful, awful run defense, this could be another Antonio Gibson week, and I am here for it.
I wish I had Gibson.
I'm glad to finally see him getting some run. It's just so weird to me that they're not using him in a pass catching role, considering he played fucking wide receiver at Memphis. Like, it just doesn't. It makes no sense to me. Kev, how do you feel on this one? Slayton is your boy, but do you want Slayton or Shepard rest of the season?
I think it's super close. I think in a PPR format, though, I'd probably lean a little bit more towards Shepard. I think he has a little bit higher floor on a week-to-week basis, where I think Slayton still has a high ceiling. I like Slayton a ton this week.
I would go with Shepard rest of season, Slayton this week only.
Alexis Steven also has another question here. Tom Brady or Matt Ryan this week?
Brady.
Yeah, I'd probably agree.
Are you just saying that to hedge your bets against your Chiefs, Kev?
No. So without Julio, it sounds like Julio is going to be out. So I think that changes things a little bit for Julio. Yeah, he's a true game time decision. I have Tom Brady ranked 7th, and I have Matt Ryan at 13, just outside of a QB1.
Who do you have in between Brady and Ryan?
Derek Carr, Lamar Jackson, Aaron Rodgers, Taysom Hill, and Carson Wentz.
Why do you have a tight end in your quarterback rankings?
It's Tom. I'm ready. I'm ready for all the anger from people that are still playing Taysom Hill in the tight end position on ESPN.
Well, that's because you're one of them.
Yeah, I know I am, because it's a loophole, and why not take advantage of it?
Mm-hmm.
You know, people in your league are going to get upset about it. I already have people in my DMs like reaching out to me and be like, "Are you going to move Taysom Hill out of your tight end position?" I said, "No, I'm not," and they were not happy about it. And I'm like, "I don't care. If you would have picked him up, you would have done the same thing."
Mm-hmm.
So sorry,
crybabies, like so butthurt. It's unbelievable. I saw people talking about how they were having their commissioners go in and change it. They were taking votes on whether the commissioner should go in and manually change other people's teams. Like that is crazy. Like if the app allows it, then you should allow it.
Yeah, I totally agree. I think that people are just, I mean, and to be honest, like you're running the risk because you can't pick anybody up, you can't make any waiver moves. So if there's a nice waiver ad that week, you're sitting out because you're holding on to Taysom Hill. Because what Taysom Hill unlocks at the tight end position, if you play on ESPN and you can keep him in the tight end position, is so high because one, the tight end position is a fucking dumpster fire outside of Travis Kelce, and then after that. You end up what you're able to do. He has, at worst, if he has a bad game, he's still going to get you 10 fantasy points. So at a tight end position, you're fucking happy your tight end gets you 10 points.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I mean, I would have done it if I didn't have moves that I really had to make on my roster. And I think anybody would. Like if you are really complaining about that, like you are just so butthurt, like you are a pussy, like grow up. Like seriously. Like I don't know, like seriously, like they must be playing in a league with their moms. Like I just can't believe that people would be so bitchy over that.
Yeah, it really comes down to, if they would have been able to pick him up in time, they would do the same thing. But because they're not able to make that move, then they're upset about it. And because it's the same thing as people that veto every single trade that people make as some sort of strategy to win. It's the same thing, and we've seen it before, like in years past, like what was it? Jalen Samuels, I think it was, it was listed at tight end, even though he was playing running back, I believe, a couple of years ago. Same thing happened with Joe Webb. I think he was listed as a wide receiver, and he started for the Vikings at quarterback. Like, we've seen this happen in the past. This isn't the first time stuff like this has come up. The real, I mean, people really could complain because it really does say in ESPN's rules, like, once a player has that eligibility, they will not change it the rest of the year. They will only add, they will not take away eligibility. And so ESPN taking it away is actually against what their so-called setup rules were. But regardless, like, I get what people are upset about. I get people that sucks for people, right? Because people are like, oh, that sucks because now this guy's starting two quarterbacks. But at the same time, you damn sure know that you would do it if you could do it.
Yeah, I mean, I started 3 quarterbacks because I'm in a 2 QB league. So I had 3 of them rolling for me. But one of them was Tua, and he got like 3 points.
This all comes down to ESPN. They should have never had him as tight end eligibility to begin with, and then they shouldn't have taken it away the following week. Like, they should have just stuck with it. If they were gonna give him tight end eligibility, they should have stuck with it and rolled out, not just changed it. Like Kevin, you were saying, like giving and taking away that eligibility. So ESPN has kind of made this shit show for themselves.
Well, so the tight end thing though, like, he's actually run, like, I think that's really he's run like 14 or 15% of his snaps from tight end. So, like, there's credence to why they had him at tight end. And so that's why they had him there. So it wasn't just some random place they put him. I get it, for the most part, he lines up a quarterback, but they do put him at other positions on the field. And so he should have probably been a quarterback from the start, but he wasn't. And now I'm profiting from it. So suck it.
Mm-hmm. Suck it is right. And they were very clear about it. There was like no, there was nothing that was misworded or anything like. They were very clear about what they planned to do with him. And if you didn't like it, like, then you would either have to change it within your league, or you can, I don't know, like, go suck your mom's teats, like, and cry about it. Because that's what they decided. You chose to play in ESPN. Like, so sorry, fuck off. Like, I got my 22 points. Like, I'm good.
I agree.
Go suck your mom's teats. YP, Pata wants to know Brady or Hill while we're on this subject.
I would go Brady just because. So Taysom Hill's matchup is not as exciting as it was last week. They're getting the Broncos. The Broncos defense has been pretty good so far this year. So I still think Taysom Hill, because of his rushing upside, I think he had 51 rushing yards last week. So I still think that's there. So I think he should be viewed as like a borderline QB1 every week that he starts. So for this week, I would be a little bit lower on him. This game against Kansas City likely is a shootout. And so I think there's a lot of upside here for Brady.
Yeah, I would go with Brady too. I wish I had him. I have Taysom Hill though.
Wentz or Matt Ryan for Justin T.
Oh,
is there anything
else? I mean, yeah, Wentz out of those two.
Oh yeah, man, it's Kev, like you were saying with Wentz, it's just so hard.
I will say that, but this matchup against Seattle's secondary and their defense has been so fucking bad. They have been a gateway for every single team they've played to be able to score points. It sounds like now Zach Ertz is also going to be back in the fold, so they're going to have their full complement of weapons. Like, this really feels like a really get right spot. The last 2 weeks for Philly, like, you have to take some into consideration because of the weather they played in, have been just atrocious. But regardless, like, I think this is a decent bounce back spot against. If they can't do it against Seattle, I don't know if he can do it at all, because, and you might be looking at Jalen Hurts getting a start next week, because this is the ultimate get right spot.
Yeah, if he can't do it here, I think you just straight up 300 kick him off the ledge, just into that never ending pit, and that's it. Pata also wants to know Balaj or AB in a PPR.
I'm going Balaj, since it doesn't sound like Eckler's coming back this week.
The thing we have to watch with Balaj too is he was either limited or did not practice today.
Yeah, I saw that actually, because he is on my team. Yeah, there's something like wrong with him, but I still feel like he's probably going to play. I mean, there was nothing wrong with him earlier in the week. Like, what's wrong with him now? Like, this, I hate when they get injured in practice.
I think he left for a couple of plays in the game last week, but he did return. I think ankle. I
You're
want to
right.
say,
He did. Yeah.
but he came
Ankle
back.
and calf.
He did finish it out. So keep an eye on that. Kev, how do you feel about AB going up against your aforementioned Kansas City Chiefs?
I would go AB. I actually think Eckler returns this week. He's running at full speed. I mean, he's doing everything that you'd want to see him do. The only way I could see them not bringing him back is because they don't really have a shot at the playoffs. So there's no reason to really truly rush him back. But he looks like he's ready to go. So I think he'd probably be limited. I don't think that you're going to see him go out there and handle the full workload. But I think there's a better than 50% chance that he returns this week. And so with him returning, like I think that pretty much I think Balaj is still like a flex option. Because we've seen in years past or in how they handle this, and this is still going to be a committee between Eckler and I think it's probably now Balaj. So I think Balaj still has a role and probably gets the short yardage in the goal line, and he probably gets more work this week than even what Austin Eckler does. That's why I have Austin Eckler ranked 16th, yeah. Typically somebody probably look at an RB1, but this week, I just don't trust that they're going to give him a full workload. So I do think he returns. And so I would go AB.
Did you guys see that video that Eckler posted on Instagram? It's like him lifting like 405 pounds.
The squats.
Amazing. Yeah. He looked really good. And, but I keep reading that he's not going to come back this week, even though he clearly wants to.
Yeah, definitely something to monitor. I'm going to roll AB there as well. I'm going to go right into another question with the Bucks. Are you rolling Godwin or Deontay Johnson, Kev? Two of your boys.
Why not both? Why not both, Alexis?
It's a good question. If you, Alexis, let us know who else you might be sitting out of those two. But Kev, if you could only play one for whatever reason until we get a little more clarity, who you rolling with there between those two?
Deontay.
Same.
I agree with that one as well. Angela, I'm going to throw this one to you. You were talking about you're playing in a 2 QB league, and you also are concerned about Ben this week. On waivers, it looks like Tam could pick up Jones or Rivers. Would you pick up either of those two, or would you just roll Ben?
Yeah, see, I've been debating on that. I don't have those options to pick up, but I might just roll with Ben because even his bad games are still pretty safe as far as points. I guess it would depend on how badly you really need strong QB points. I looked up what he got last time, and in standard scoring, it was 18 points that he got against Baltimore last time, and that's one of his lowest showings of the season. I think he had maybe one other low scoring game. I think I'm going to trust Big Ben because he's been playing really well. I mean, there's a little something going on with him, quads, right? But I think he's going to be okay, and I think he's going to put up some points. And unless you are looking for somebody to go off, then I think that it's safe to trust Big Ben. But she's got Wilson too, so. Or Tam.
Kevin, you rolling Big Ben, or are you going to pick up one of those waiver options?
I think it's close. I really like Daniel Jones this week. This is a great matchup against Cincinnati. I do have some concern of how much they're going to actually have to throw the ball. Do they really need to, air it out? But currently, I have Big Ben one spot ahead of Daniel Jones. I have Big Ben at 14 and Daniel Jones at 15.
That's who I would be considering as well, but I think I would also keep Big Ben in there.
Yeah, I mean, this Baltimore team is really beat up. They're missing a lot of pieces. So I don't really have that much concern. I think the Steelers can still pretty much handle this pretty well.
MJ, the Pug Master, joins us again. If you're joining us for the first time, we'd really appreciate it if you guys slammed that subscribe button for us. It really means a lot. We're We are inching our way closer to 700 subs because you guys are the best. Would you trade away Miles Sanders and Tyreek Hill for Aaron Jones and A.J. Brown in a full PPR?
No, thank you.
No, I don't think so.
Yeah, I'm
Jones is not
keeping
downward spiral.
Tyreek
Sanders.
Hill's like the wide receiver 1 on the year.
I think he's sitting at 2 behind Adams. And also, I just want to take a quick victory lap before it's taken away from me. If we end the scoring right now, my bold prediction before the season started was DK Metcalf and Tyler Boyd, both as wide receiver 1s in PPR, and Tyler Boyd is currently wide receiver 11. So I'm going to take a quick little preemptive victory lap on that because I'm
That's
sure.
not how it works. It's by the end of the year. You can't just like, well, after a certain amount of time, look, I'm right.
Listen, no one else was putting those two in the top 12.
Hey, I'm not taking anything away from you. I've given you a shout out.
You're trying to. We're on to the next question. MJ, keep Sanders and Hill there. Justin T wants to know Cooper, Judy, or Rager.
I'm deciding between Judy and Rager right now. It's not Cooper for me. I'm going to go Judy. I just think Judy's on the rise. I think that he's been doing pretty well, and he's going to stay consistent through the end of the year.
Kev, how are you feeling on this one?
I would probably go Amari.
Why? I want to know.
Well, one, so I mean, Andy Dalton actually looked much better last week.
Yeah.
And returning from, COVID and a concussion after they tried to decapitate him the last time. And this Washington secondary can be beat. And I think that we're starting to see the Cowboys play a little bit better. And so with that, I just think Amari makes for a much better play. I think he has a much higher ceiling here than Jerry Jeudy does. Now, I do like Jalen Reagor as well a lot in this matchup against the Seahawks, but I still think that Amari is a really solid wide receiver 2 this week.
I don't think so. I'll be watching now. Like for him, I don't know that I see that like with him. And just like everything he's working with in Dallas. But you were right that Dalton had a good game.
Of absolutely no use to you, Justin, because I'm going to go Reagor. So if somebody in the chat wants to help out Justin here, since we are split 3 ways, we all gave a different answer. But I'm going Reagor, Kev is going Cooper, and Angela is going with Judy. Moving on to Travis joining us in the YouTube chat. Needs 2 wide receivers out of this group: Ridley, Jefferson, Godwin, Parker.
So Ridley and Jefferson.
Tough.
And then I'm flexing Clyde Edwards-Helaire.
I'm doing Ridley, Parker, and CEH.
Kev and Angela, do you guys feel confident in that CEH against the Bucks run D, or is that just you feel is the obviously the best of the options here, but is that close for you? Is there anyone else that you would consider? I'm going to go Ridley and Godwin for the wide receivers, but how confident are you on the CEH play?
It's me picking him wasn't like matchup based. So I mean, you have a point above the Bucks and everything. I still would pick him though. I just think like he's going to put up the most points between him and Duke as far as those two options.
Right, and I think when you look at Clyde Edwards-Helaire, obviously the Chiefs' offense opens things up quite a bit, and where teams aren't just going to be trying to lock down the run. He's also highly involved in the passing game, it's close actually between him and Godwin for me. I actually have CEH ranked 13th this week, so outside of an RB1. But I think it's really close between him and Godwin. But the targets are so spread out in Tampa between AB, Mike, Evans, and Godwin. So it's lowered his ceiling a little bit for what you can truly expect from him. I think now you're looking at more of a 12 to 15 each week from him. And then I think CEH can get there much easier, especially on a larger volume of touches. Jefferson does scare me because, as we know, if Minnesota can get up quickly on Carolina, then it could really phase out Justin Jefferson. But his ceiling is so high.
Mm-hmm.
That's ultimately why I rolled with Godwin over Jefferson, just because everything you laid out there, Kevin. I would also go Clyde for the flex. I just want to get some of your thoughts on that matchup. Tam coming through with the Thanksgiving question. Favorite Thanksgiving pie? Tam's rolling with the classic pumpkin with the Cool Whip. What are you guys rolling with as your Thanksgiving desserts?
Same. I love just a traditional pumpkin pie with lots of Cool Whip.
I like apple pie.
I knew you were going to say something dumb.
Yeah, you can have apple pie anytime.
What? No. I don't just eat pies all the time. You know what I had this week, though? This is amazing. Somebody at my work made a chocolate cake, but there was a cherry pie inside of it. There's an actual name for it. And I was really
awesome.
skeptical about
delicious.
This. I'm like, this I don't know about this. And I tried it, and it was fucking delicious.
Doesn't sound like it would be, but I think I've heard of that.
That sounds incredible.
There's a name. And
it's like a pie-cakin' or something, I think is what it's called.
It's like a dessert, like turducken.
Yeah, it's like pie-cakin', I think is what they call it. But it was I was really skeptical. I'm like, this does not look this looks weird. But I was like, I'm gonna try a piece. I'm gonna try it. And I was like, oh, this is actually really good.
Good for you for going out on a limb there, Kev. I'm proud of you for having that strength to try.
Dude, I am like a basic white girl when it comes to like I do not go out of my way of things. Like once I have something that I like at a restaurant, I get that same thing every single time. And I'm always like, I'm gonna try something new. I look over the menu, look around. Nah, okay, no, let me just get this. I'm gonna stick with that. Because I'm always like, what happens if I get something I don't like it? And I'm pissed that I didn't get what I always want. So that's what I do.
Then you're paying for it. Yeah, I get that.
Every single time.
I go pumpkin pie, but instead of the Cool Whip, the spray, the Ready Whip and the can.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
That's my jam. Justin T wants to know Savon Ahmed, Duke Johnson, or Montgomery. Like I mentioned at the top, Ahmed missed practice today with a shoulder injury, and Myles Gaskin did return. He was in a non-contact injury, but that's definitely something to monitor. I'm going to stay on brand, and I'm rolling Montgomery after he has cleared concussion protocol. But how do you guys feel about this trio of backs?
I'm also going to go with Montgomery, but I feel like I wish it were Ahmed because I have him. Definitely not Duke Johnson. No.
I want to go David Montgomery, but Duke Johnson is intriguing. I mean, Detroit's run defense is terrible, just absolutely atrocious. But I don't know. It's tough to really trust Duke Johnson. I still think probably 70 total yards and a touchdown, I think, is certainly in the range of possibility for Duke Johnson. But I would probably just slightly lean David Montgomery a little bit more.
I mean, he's had 2 games, and these last 2 games, with David Johnson being out, and I don't feel like he's done much of anything. I mean, he's barely touched
Nobody's
the ball. I
done
don't
anything.
know
So
how
the
many.
problem is that there's no creativity with the Houston and the way they utilize their running backs. Like it's literally like we're just gonna run them right up the middle every time and see if this works out, and it doesn't because their offensive line is so terrible that it doesn't really work out. Like that's the reason why like no running back is really gonna do well the way their system is ran right now. So
Right. I mean,
the
everything
best
is
case
just
scenario,
seeing what sticks, like shooting us something out and seeing what sticks. So how could he really trust that?
right? And so like Duke Johnson, like I think he has a 20-point ceiling, but he can also have a 5-point floor.
Mm-hmm.
But the answer is David Montgomery, so we're going to move on.
And you know what could be amazing, like that we haven't talked about, is that we might get Mitchell Trubisky this week, and I am here for it.
Yeah,
because he returned to practice in full. Like I think we can all agree that Nick Foles is not the fucking answer in Chicago because Nick Foles looks like hot garbage. Not that Mitchell Trubisky has performed substantially better, but at least Mitchell Trubisky is mobile and can actually get outside the quarterback or get outside the pocket and make some plays with his legs. Now, yes, he makes some dumb decisions, but Nick Foles is certainly not it. Like Nick Foles has looked atrocious this entire time. There has not been a moment where I'm like, okay, I see why they did this. It's terrible. So I hope we get like because Ryan, who's also a TFA, he is a huge Bears fan, and every single week, like I'm like, can we get Trubisky in here? Can we get Nick Foles out? Because Nick Foles is terrible.
I was saying that to someone the other day that they're going to go crawling back to Cutler at this point.
Smoking Joe.
It's so weird too. If you guys, this didn't really seem to get a lot of pub, but the fact that the Bears went after Foles because they wanted someone to actually like have a competition, like they didn't want someone who was going to clearly beat out Trubisky, which is the reason why they didn't go after Cam Newton and they went after Foles. Like, imagine that line of like, how the fuck is that a line of thinking? Like, you know what, we don't really want.
Right, I mean that's Ryan Pace's guy. I mean, he drafted him, so like he's tied to Mitch Trubisky. But then they went out and got the guy that like has familiarity with Matt Nagy in the time in Kansas City, and so that's why they brought in Nick Foles. But I don't know, like it is such a terrible. And their defense once again, like they're wasting away another really good defense, Chicago, and Allen Robinson for that matter. Like get Allen Robinson a fucking quarterback for once and for all. Like this is what I want. The Chiefs are going to lose the Chiefs are going to kick Sammy Watkins to the curb this offseason, and let's just bring in Allen Robinson and just go all in.
I'm fine with that because they're both my boys. But yeah, either way, like, could you imagine if Allen Robinson just had like an above average quarterback? Like what he has done with fucking Blake Bortles, Trubisky, Nick Foles. First of all, that should be a fucking crime. There should be somebody who is locked up and responsible. Somebody should be put in jail for this crime against humanity. But let's get this man a quarterback. Make Allen Robinson great again. We're gonna move on to Roberto, Godwin, Shepard, or Juju, half PPR.
Godwin, Shepard, or Juju. Godwin. Matchup based somewhat, and
yeah. So I mean, so this week with Juju, like I don't like Juju at all this week. When they're in 3 wide receiver sets, and obviously he plays majority in the slot, and they play a lot of 3 wide receiver sets. Marlon Humphrey actually shifts into the slot, and he is actually the best corner for Baltimore, and he is an elite shutdown corner, and so I want no part of Juju this week if I can help it.
I'm going to skip in the questions here, Roberto. If you can do that, if that is offered to you right now, a second Roberto. We have double Robertos in here. Yes, get Nick Chubb for Zeke Elliott if you can do that. Absolutely, 1,000%. Stop watching. If that's been offered to you or just like kicked around, maybe I'll do it. Go offer it, accept it, whatever you got to do. Go do that right now.
And then come back.
Yes, and then come back. But right now, just mute us for a second, make the trade, come back. Aiden Rovers wants to know, I need two out of these three at wide receiver between Julio, A.J. Brown, and Justin Jefferson.
Well, I guess he doesn't give the caveat because I don't know if it doesn't sound like he's going to play. Like, he's a true game time decision. And we saw it last week. Like, he missed most of the game and came back on like the final drive and then left again. So I wouldn't even trust playing him. Like, it's going to be really hard to sit him if he was playing, but man, like, it's hard to trust because, I mean, at any moment he could exit the game again. But I think there's probably a better than 50-50 shot he does not play if he is a true game time decision this week. They're not in the running for anything. They're not making the playoffs. So there's really no reason to rush him out and put him out there. So I think decision, but if he does play, I still can't see myself sitting him. So like I would play Julio and AJ Brown.
Yeah, I mean you have to watch until the last second to see if they change his situation. But yeah, that's what I would do as well.
Yeah, you got to imagine if they are activating Julio that he's truly good to go. Like, there's no reason for them to they're not chasing a playoff spot. There's no reason for them to throw him out there as a decoy or at 70-50% health. So if he's out there, you have to assume that he's fully healthy, and I would feel comfortable plugging him in because there would be nothing worse than Julio Jones sitting on your bench and going off for 35 points. Alejandro needs to flex one of these options: AB, Raheem, Reagor, Pittman, and it is 2020, so Nelson Aguilar is also next.
I think I'm going Pittman.
Agreed.
Ooh.
I mean, I have Michael Pittman as a top 24 wide receiver this week.
Yeah, I mean, I'm playing him.
He's playing well.
Yeah, he's doing really good. Yeah. Yeah, I think he's got a better chance of drumming up a bunch of points than some of these other guys. I mean, is Mostert even off IR? I didn't even look. Did they take him off?
He has come back to practice. I don't know if he's actually been taken off of IR, but he is back in practice.
Okay, so he is back.
I think he was activated.
I
think him and Jeff Wilson.
Okay, I know that 21-day window was opened up for them to pull him off of IR. He's definitely in practice either way. I would just come back on Sunday. We'll be going live again at 11 a.m. to answer your questions then. Out of this group, I'm going to go Reagor, but I do get I have Reagor and Pittman would be close for me. I don't want to miss that Reagor blow up game. Is why I want to keep playing Reagor because I do not want to miss out on that. But Pittman would be close there for me. AB or Watkins from Good Intentions.
I don't know if Watkins is going to play.
Yeah, I was just going to say that. Is he even going to play? I think I'm going to go AB, even though I mean he's getting the third most targets. He's behind the other two, but I still think. I think that Brady wants to give him more targets, basically because they're friends and he lives in his house. And I keep waiting for it to happen. I can't get rid of him yet. So I mean, it's kind of like what you were saying with Reagor. You want to be there for it when it happens.
Yeah, I can't play Sammy Watkins. Sammy is made of ultra soft Charmin. The man finally, we thought he was going to come back last week, and then he gets a new injury in practice, a calf injury. So
that'll be enough. You were muted. On to Jackie. Needs to bench two: Fuller, Cooks, A-Rob, Claypool, Jefferson. It makes it so much easier on us whenever you say bench two instead of start four. Thank you, Jackie.
What is the difference?
It just makes
it easier.
It does make it easier.
It does not make it. Maybe for you, I guess. Anyway, So 2 here. I'm bitching, I guess, Justin Jefferson and Brandon Cooks.
Yeah, I'm going to go that too. I was kind of debating Claypool, but I don't think, no, like they're on fire lately. I don't think I would do Claypool. So yeah, I agree with Kevin.
T. Iverson has Swift, Gurley, Bernard. Who is going to play this week?
If we're only getting one, it's Swift. Swift is like a
Swift.
top 5 option.
Yeah.
I think he plays. So I mean, he returned to practice, which is a great sign that he'll be activated in time for tomorrow.
He was only limited though, and he has yet to clear the protocol. He's questionable for tomorrow.
I think he plays. If he gets back out to practice, yeah, that's a really good sign that he's taking the step to return. I think he'll be ready to go tomorrow.
Mm-hmm.
Good thing it's the first game. We don't have it. There's no other decisions to make. So if obviously he gets ruled out early, then you pull him out of your lineup. But Houston is fucking off, like just terrible against the run. And so this is a terrific matchup for DeAndre Swift to get back into. So I hate Todd Gurley, but I don't know how many options you need here. I guess if you only need one, it's definitely Swift. You don't even have to think about it.
Yeah, just I cross your fingers and hope that Swift plays. Bernard is questionable. He had the concussion, so you might be down to Gurley. And this week, I do like that matchup for him. So if it comes down to it, you have to start Gurley. I would actually feel okay about that this week. Dave McKnight in a standard league needs 2 of these running backs: Jacobs, Swift, Sanders, Hines. Locking in Sanders.
Swift and Sanders.
Yeah. If Swift does not go, then it'd be Jacobs.
Yeah, I think that's where I'm at.
Iverson. I don't know. This is such a disheartening year. Like, I've never felt thankful that I've had to work every single Saturday because of the post office with college football. But if there's a year to be thankful for it with Penn State football, it's this year. They are fucking god awful. If there is any silver lining, hopefully that means James Franklin is gone, because he's been a great recruiter, has never been a good coach. So I don't know. I wouldn't even bother watching T. Honestly, I wouldn't. Those are two just shit programs that I have no interest. Find another game to watch. Find one you're actually going to enjoy and not rip your hair out. But I appreciate you coming through for Penn State. David Knight also wants to know Brady or Rodgers.
I really want to say Aaron Rodgers for obvious reasons.
Homer. Such a homer.
I didn't draft him though. I guess now though I wish I should. He's been having a great year, but I'm gonna go. Can you turn that light back on? I'm gonna go Brady.
Brady for me as well.
Yeah.
Like, Kev, you had that look in your eye. James wants to know, is this crazy? I want to bench AJ Brown at the Colts for Aguilar at the Falcons. Or Juju tripping over flags. My God. Would you guys have the cojones to bench AJ Brown for Nelson Aguilar?
No, because my team is like basically a scrap heap. It's all like just waiver scraps at this point. So if I had someone like AJ Brown, I'd probably be so grateful that no, I wouldn't be able to like just throw in somebody else like that.
No, I can't do it. Like if it was a different option, like I could consider it, because I do think that in times like, if you're just wanting to go straight upside, I just don't know if Nelson Aguilar, like I think you're chasing what he just did last week coming off a game against Kansas City. I will say that obviously Atlanta is terrible against the pass. They are really good at actually against the run. They're 9th in run DVOA this year. So they've actually been good against the run. I mean, you saw, against Alvin Kamara, I think he had 11 points. He ended up finding the end zone late in the game, that kind of made his week, or else it wouldn't have been very good. But so I'm not opposed to sitting AJ Brown, and like if you had to, because this is a matchup to where he could fail. Because one, we know Tennessee wants to run the ball, and Corey Davis seems to be drawing more targets than what AJ Brown is. But AJ Brown is so explosive that any moment he gets the ball in his hands, he can rip off a 70-yard touchdown. And so that ceiling that he has, I just think is higher than what Nelson Aguilar's is, even though Aguilar has a better matchup.
Ryan Kessler, I would not, without knowing anything else, just in a vacuum, I would not do that trade.
I would make that trade.
You would?
So like the running back landscape, like how many running backs? Like I know, so with DeAndre Swift,
yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Like if I can get DeAndre Swift for the playoff run with the Lions schedule that they have, and like I think that he's taken over the backfield. I know it was a concussion, so it's not a worry about, like it's not like a knee injury or an ankle or soft tissue or something like that. Once he's back, which I think he'll be back this week, his upside is just, I mean, he legitimately could be a top 5 running back down the stretch, and that is irreplaceable to me. Now, I get it. Robert Woods is really good, and I think he's a solid top 15 wide receiver. Mark Andrews is very hit or miss, but depending on what other tight end options are out there, I have no problem with making the trade for DeAndre Swift.
Yeah, it like I said, in a vacuum, I would not. But if you can give us a couple more deets on your team, that would be helpful. That just, I also have a problem with just trusting the Lions to do the right thing. Like it took them this long. Like, how does it take you this long to be like, you know what? DeAndre Swift might be better than dusty-ass Adrian Peterson and overrated Kerryon Johnson.
Did you see Adrian Peterson's comments whenever they told him? I guess so. Whenever they told him that they were going to be starting DeAndre Swift, Adrian Peterson said, "You should have done this 2 or 3 weeks ago." Like, that's fantastic.
That is not the direction that I thought that was going to go, but that is fantastic. Pedro wants to know, do I start Fulgham, Beasley, or Higgins? For me, this is Beasley, and especially if John Brown is out.
I'm going Beasley too. I think that him and Josh Allen have a good thing going. They did last year too. Like it was like their bromance was just like budding, and now it's blossoming. And like I would go Beasley. Fulgham's not doing anything. Higgins is a safe play this week.
I really want to say Travis Fulgham, but I'm not. I'm going to go with Beasley.
Goff or Jones for you, bet?
Daniel Jones.
Jones.
I don't even have Jared Goff as a top 20 option this week. Actually, I have him at 24.
I just realized we skipped over this one. Emiliano, if you're still rocking with us, in redraft, I really don't know what you're going to be able to get for Joe Mixon at this point, especially now with Burrow going down. If this is a dynasty question, I think that the value is the same. I really don't think you take away anything from him in dynasty. I think he should still be treated as a top 5 running back for dynasty. Sorry that I skipped over this one earlier.
Yeah, and redraft his value is nothing. I mean, I honestly don't think he's gonna. He very well may not come back this year now. I don't think he can even come back until week 14. So at that point, is there even a reason to bring him back?
Right.
So I don't think that there is. So yeah, I don't think he has value.
Trey Peterson wants to know, who should I look to trade Miles Sanders for? I already have McCaffrey and Jacobs. Wide receivers are Hopkins and Thomas. I need a better flex.
You're not gonna. I don't know how you could get a better flex than Miles Sanders.
Yeah,
Miles Sanders has been a monster. I mean,
if Miles Sanders was my flex, I'd be so happy. I'd just be like rolling around.
Yeah, and if I was going to trade somebody, it would be Jacobs. Keep Miles Sanders, especially in PPR. I mean, Miles Sanders gets targets like Jacobs doesn't. So, and Jacobs' rest of season schedule still isn't great. Like it's pretty average at best. And so Miles Sanders' schedule, like really the rest of season, is fantastic. So Yeah, I wouldn't want to trade him for anything.
Yes. Hold on to Sanders there. Let's try and roll through some of these kind of rapid fire. I just realized we are a half hour behind on the questions. Federico wants to know, who do I start in the flex? Mike Davis, Brandon Cooks, or Sterling Shepard? Kev, I'm going to throw this one to you.
Mike Davis.
Angela, this one is for you. Alejandro wants to know, choose 3. Julio, Juju, T. Higgins, Aguilar, Rager, Pittman, Mostert. We already know you like Pittman this week.
Julio if he plays. And then I guess I would go Juju.
And then Pittman?
Yeah, Pittman. Mm-hmm.
Oh, Alejandro forgot Amari whenever we answered the question earlier, whenever we were torn between Rager and Pittman. Does Amari change anything?
No, it would still be Pittman. I have Pittman at 24. I have Amari at 25.
Who? Gurley or Duke?
Gurley.
Okay, I'm going to throw this one to you since you were the keeper guy. In a 6-keeper, 3 wide receiver league, who do you keep out of this list? Deshaun, Barkley, Chubbs, oh my God, Miles Sanders, Devontae Adams, Fuller, Godwin, Shepard, Juju, or Hunter Henry?
So this is actually easy. In a 6-keeper, you're definitely keeping the running backs. You're keeping Barkley,
Right.
Chubb, and Miles. You don't even got to think about that. You're not keeping any of the quarterbacks. You never keep a quarterback in a keeper league. I don't care if it's Patrick Mahomes or if it's Justin Herbert. Like it just doesn't make any sense. They're so readily available, and unless it's a 2-quarterback league, you don't keep a quarterback. So after that, it's Devontae Adams, and then the last 2 would be definitely Chris Godwin, and then I'm keeping Will Fuller. The only thing with Will Fuller, well, I guess we'll have to see is where I believe he's a free agent this year, after this offseason. And so he could go, and so is Chris Godwin for that matter, actually. So both of them could actually.
Juju as well.
Yeah, yeah, he's not a part of the equation here. So unless Juju goes to like the Packers or like some like amazing spot, then maybe Juju would be interesting. But for right now, it's Barkley, Chubb, Miles Sanders, Devontae, Godwin, and Fuller.
We got 2 quarterback questions. I'm going to throw both of these to you, Angela. Do you want Rodgers or Watson this week?
Watson.
Newton or Ryan?
Newton.
Kev, pick 2 flex. Myers, Parker, Godwin, Carson, Rager, Eckler if he plays. This one for Andrew.
I'm going to go Godwin and I'm not playing Chris Carson.
Matchup?
Yeah. I mean, Philly's run defense has been amazing. Like it is really, really, really good. And so I would probably go with the second option. It would be Godwin and Devontae Parker.
Pick 2 out of this group, Kev. Taylor, Ahmed, Clyde. Say it. Just do it.
Clyde, and I guess I don't have a choice because I don't know if he's going to play. So it's going to be Jonathan Taylor. Hey, listen, it was encouraging to see Jonathan Taylor last week. I know I've been super down on him for most of the season. And but heading into the year, I love Jonathan Taylor. Like I thought he had the potential to be the best running back in this class, and so I like Jonathan Taylor. I hope that he continues to play well, and he looked good last week. Like this was like okay, this is the guy that we wanted to see, and so hopefully he can continue. But for me, it's CEH and Taylor
by default for Kev. Angela,
I think even if Ahmed was playing, like if like we hadn't had a concern, I would still go Jonathan Taylor.
Angela, just in case you don't know, Kev called Jonathan Taylor Trent Richardson. So,
and I've called him Christian Michael too.
Is Swift playing tomorrow from Demo Man? He's questionable. Kev seems to have a little bit of faith that he is going to play. He was limited in both of his practices. So, I mean, if he doesn't play, it's going to make that Thursday slate even uglier. AB or Robinson, Kev?
Hey, Allen Robinson.
Robinson.
What if that is James?
What? Am I missing something here?
What if that is James Robinson instead of Allen Robinson?
It would still be James Robinson.
Yeah.
It's Robinson. We're playing Robinson this week, boys and girls. Okay.
Lucius, what do you think about Thielen and Metcalf's playoff schedules?
So the Vikings is fucking awful.
Mm-hmm.
And the Seahawks have Jets, Washington, Rams.
The first two aren't as scary. The last one is a little. The Rams have done a really good job of shutting down opposing wide receivers.
Yeah, so if this is kind of a trade question, I mean, either way, the answer is DK Metcalf. But especially with the playoff schedules, you're going to favor Metcalf over Thielen here. This guy, any chance Fitz comes back, and if so, could he be a league winner down the stretch?
No quarterback is ever really going to be a league winner. Okay.
Another Miami Dolphin question, any news on Gaskin? Like I said, returned to practice either today or yesterday was in a non-contact injury. So I would assume probably still another week away. They do have the 21-day window to actually activate him off of IR. Tam with another question. I have Gus Edwards in my flex right now, but bench options are AJ Brown, Juju, and Edmonds. Any thoughts?
I'm playing AJ Brown.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think I would do Edwards out of those options. I'd do Brown I would do Brown first and then Edmonds.
I mean, Gus Edwards is the starter, right? And so this is the thing with Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh's run defense is actually where they've allowed quite a bit between the 20 and 20, right? Like you can run on Pittsburgh for sure. And I think there's this myth that they're like elite run defense, and that's kind of a myth. It's not really true. Last week we saw who was it? Who the fuck am I thinking of? Anyway, couple of weeks ago, whenever this very same game happened, they allowed 250 yards rushing on the ground to Baltimore. Each week, if you go through, they allow rushing yards. Where they have been great is once they get down to the red zone and the goal line is stuffing opposing teams. So they've only allowed 5 rushing touchdowns on the year. And so that is where a lot of this comes from them. So the thing that scares me the most, though, with Gus Edwards, people want to play him like in a PPR format. He's not going to get any passing game volume. The last 2 years, he has like 6 receptions. He is not somebody that's going to get any volume. He runs like 5 routes a game. So like in PPR, like I'm much lower on him. In a standard league, I think he's a little bit more intriguing. But in a PPR format, like he's like a flex option at best.
Phantom Gaming needs 3: Metcalf, Robbie Anderson, Robert Woods, Claypool, and AJ Brown.
Well, Metcalf is a lock.
Yeah. Probably Woods and Brown for me. Yeah, for this week at least.
I would go Robert Woods and Claypool.
I'm going to go Metcalf, Anderson, and Woods. I'm going to go the first 3. John Kelly wants to know one of my favorite running backs, John Kelly, who never panned out. Crowder or Fournette in the flex, half PPR.
Fournette.
I want to say Crowder, but he has not been seeing as much volume with the emergence of Denzel Mims.
Goddamn right.
Yeah. But I would probably go Fournette, but it scares the hell out of me because it could go one of two different ways. But with the fact that they're playing the Chiefs and they're going to be throwing, Ronald Jones is not a good pass catching running back, and I think just Leonard Fournette makes a little bit more sense.
I will go Crowder. Fournette also scares me, and he dropped approximately 18 passes. I'm pretty sure. I don't think I'm exaggerating that number either. Last week. I mean, Rojo isn't much better either, but I do think you can beat Miami. Obviously, their strength is in their outside corners. Looks like Darnold is going to attempt to come back this week. They're going to apparently, Gase's quote is, he's going to do quite a lot this week, whatever that means. But either way, I do like Crowder because I think it's where you can beat Miami is from the slot. Anthony Acosta traded Kamara for Diggs, Swift, Cooks.
I actually don't mind that. I mean, I think he got a haul back.
Yeah, I mean, the fact that he got 3 guys and they're those guys, I think that's all right.
I mean, Diggs is a top 5 wide receiver, top 6 wide receiver. Swift, I think, at least at the very bare minimum now is a top 10 wide receiver or wide receiver running back. And then Brandon Cooks, I think, is a solid top 20 wide receiver. So you got all that for Alvin like that. You killed it.
Yeah, that's a nice trade. You normally don't see go through with studs like that. What do you think about Ty Johnson getting some playing time, Kev?
Shoot me now. Like, I don't know. Like, I don't want to play. I don't care about any jet running back. Okay. Like they're all this team is a train wreck. They can't run the football. I'm not worried about. I don't care who it is. Ty Johnson, Michael P. Ryan. I don't care. Like the running backs here is just not something that I'm really interested in.
There you have it. Alex wants to know: have PPR need a flex and wide receiver? Another Savon Ahmed question: Boyd, Aguilar, Fulgham.
Boyd.
Mm-hmm.
And then I'm gonna go on Fulgham.
I'm going to Aguilar. I don't trust Fulgham. He's had 2 shitty games in a row. Carson Wentz is equally shitty. They're all shitty. Like the Eagles are shitty. Everybody's shitty. So like I'm not gonna play Fulgham. No.
Put some respect on that man's name.
This sounds like a bunch of bird shit for the Eagles, but I'm going to also side with Kev on this one and go Boyd and Fulgham. Sean wants to know for the playoffs, Taysom or Newton?
Playoffs? We're gonna talk about I don't think Taysom's. I don't know if he's even gonna be the quarterback by then. Breeze can come back in 2 more weeks. So right at the start of the fantasy playoffs, we'll see if he's able to with 11 fractures in his rib. But
Crazy.
I think there's a chance that he does. I think it would really depend on where they're at, like schedule or what their record is if they're able to continue to win without him. But you definitely can't trust Taysom for the fantasy playoffs because I don't know. I don't think he's not going to be the starter for the whole thing. So you ride the wave of Taysom Hill right now and enjoy it while it lasts.
See, yeah, I don't know that I trust Newton either, though. Just because New England.
Oh, I don't love Newton either. I'm just saying with Taysom, I just don't think that you can really truly trust him.
Byron wants to know, Angela, going to throw this one to you. Need a flex in a standard league. Clyde, Deontay Johnson, Gio, or Monty?
I am going Deontay. He's been getting quite a few targets. He's been doing really good. He's been consistent lately. I don't see any reason why that wouldn't continue. So, yeah, I'm going him.
Kev, throwing this one to you from Aaron. Pick 2. Cup, A-Rob, Godwin, Galladay, Deontay Johnson. First of all, nice group.
Allen Robinson, Kenny Galladay's out. So it is Allen Robinson, and oh man, that's tough. I'm gonna go Deontay, but it's super close. Who are you starting at running back, Aaron? Like that, or do you have some flex options here that possibly we can get to? Because this is a good group, and I really feel I would hate to have to sit Cooper Kupp, because I really like him as well.
A little bit of breaking news here for TFA. We just broke 700 subscribers, and now we are on to 800. So if you were sitting in here and chopping it up with us, we really do appreciate it. If you have not yet hit that subscribe button, please do so as we march on to 800. And I'm also going to drop the link if anybody wants to actually jump on and join us and just shoot the shit. So I'm going to drop the link in the chat right now. If you want to join. If you just want to keep hanging out in the chat and be anonymous, go ahead and do that too. Angela, going to throw this one to you. Roberto wants to know Ingram or Schultz. First tight end question.
I guess Schultz, but I mean, who can you really trust with tight ends? There's just so few of them, but I'm going to go Schultz, I guess. Yeah, they're playing. I don't know, sometimes, yeah, I'm going to go Schultz. Hey,
we have been
Hello.
joined by goddamn royalty. We have three-time Emmy Award winner David Berger joining us here on the podcast. You can find him at Carl Jr. Does the We Wagers pod, which I've been thoroughly enjoying. That's been a lot of fun. And my favorite training camp podcast, the Dialed In pod. Berg, what's up, buddy?
Well, thank you for that introduction, Cody. I'm happy to be here. How's it going tonight, everyone?
drinking.
Sipping on a bit of a Negroni myself.
What the hell is that? You fancy West Coast Emmy Award winning setup. What is a Negroni?
A Negroni is gin, bitters, and vermouth.
Okay. I fuck with gin. I like that.
Yeah, it's not bad. My wife likes it, and I saw someone tweet out a recipe yesterday, so I went and procured the ingredients, whipped it together in a coffee pot. So we have here because we're staying, we're away from home. We have no real utensils or tools, so gotta MacGyver it a bit.
Gotta make do. Berg,
Yeah.
we're gonna bring Rob in here as well, joining us from somewhere, still staying very anonymous. Rob, what's up? How are you doing? But Berg, tell me, what are you guys? You just mentioned you're away from home. What's the Thanksgiving plan?
We're in Santa Fe, New Mexico. We just had a friend arrive from Los Angeles, and the plan is to just kind of hunker in, do the safe, responsible thing, and got turkey breast, not a whole turkey, and then I've been betting college basketball all day. I'm going to bet bet pro football all day tomorrow. I'm looking forward to it.
Nice, man. Rob, what's up? Where are you joining us from? How are you doing?
I don't hear Rob.
Rob has in the private chat said hello, so he must be having some technical difficulties.
Well, Rob, let us know whenever you get that figured out. I see now. I don't think Rob knew. What's up, Rob? You can hang out in the private chat too. VIP. Berg, I'm going to throw this one directly at you. Jumping on. Michael Ford wants to know Crowder, James White, or Beasley in the flex.
Oh man, that's a tough one. Well, according to Adam Gase last week, there were, mistakes led to Crowder not having 15 catches in the first half. So, I still lean Crowder in that situation. I do feel like, I don't know. Then James White, though, he feels like a nice, solid contrarian play. Beasley, that's a high total in that game. I actually think it got bet up to 54. Jeez, I hate the guy. I hate the start sits with guys in the same tier bucket, which I guess is the whole point of start sit. I'm gonna go with Crowder because I need Crowder this weekend. So let's get the positivity train going.
Just trying to bring that to fruition. You're trying to procure the Crowder points.
Exactly. I mean, like I said, that was like one of the best quotes I've read over the last few days was, if it wasn't for mistakes, he would have had 15 catches in the first half. Like, okay, cool. Thanks, Adam.
That is Kev's boy, Adam Gase.
The best title we've ever had for our podcast was Adam Gase Butthole Tickler.
Yeah,
that was fantastic.
That sounds about right.
Well, he'll be gone by the end of the season.
He should.
I hope.
He has to have dirt on. He definitely has some files on a laptop. No one knows where it is. It's like the Hunter Biden laptop. Nobody actually knows, but it's apparently somewhere, and there is just fucking dirt on 32 head coaches and GMs on that. It's the only thing that makes sense.
He's got pictures of all their wives' cooters, and he's gonna spread them around.
Cootergate.
It would make sense because that's what Brett Favre, right? When he was with the Jets, remember he got in trouble for sending a picture, a D pic to somebody.
I do remember
when he was with the Jets.
Yeah, I live a life where I've seen Brett Favre's penis. That's something I expect that I move forward every day with.
I don't think I have seen Brett Favre's penis. I'm going to Google that. Do you think it's still out there?
The internet is forever, so yes, it's still out
I remember
there,
when he did that, though. Yeah.
I'm surprised you don't have a canvas print of that, Angela.
We do have many autographed Brett Favre memorabilia type things within my family. But no, that's not a picture that we've asked him to sign. So, but
that would be fantastic to go at somewhere he's at and have a picture of it and be like, hey, will you sign this for me?
It would be pretty freaking amazing. I'm going to start carrying one around in case I run into him.
No Brett Favre dick molds in Angela's house. Oh, look at this. Perfect timing. Dude, joining us live. Telly B, what's up, man? How are you doing?
What's going on?
What up, man? How are you?
Oh, man, just chilling, man, watching the podcast.
What's the Thanksgiving plans?
Everything, really. I'm hungry.
I hear that.
What's the first thing that goes on your plate? What's the first thing you got to grab?
I ain't even lie. Maybe I can say some roast. Really, roast. I like roast. So
there you go.
All right.
Yes,
so let's help Telly B out here with this question. Half PPR flex, Rager or Parker? Kev, you want to tackle this one?
I think it's Devontae Parker. Great matchup. I mean, so does Jalen Rager, but I would probably go with Parker.
Yeah, I'm going Parker here as well. I feel like Rager, great matchup, but I'd also like to see him do well in a game before I start him over someone who just had a touchdown last week. And essentially the wide receiver one for the Dolphins in a matchup against the New York Jets, who #stink. I think it's a pretty easy one.
I'm going Parker. I need to get my own positivity train going here, and I've got him in my lineups.
Would it matter to you guys at all if who was starting at quarterback for Parker? Would that make you lean toward Rager if it was Tua, let's say, instead of Fitz?
No, I mean they're still without Preston Williams. He's going to get the targets either way.
Yeah, not really. I mean, I would listen. I like both. I mean, I'd rather see Tua out there, but I actually think for fantasy purposes, Fitz is probably the better quarterback for Parker. But not really.
Who else are you starting at wide receiver?
Who I have? I have Lockett. Well, I had Thielen, but yeah, he's on the COVID list, so
Yeah.
so that's
he did test negative, so you might have him coming back. He did have a negative test after that positive, so it might be a false positive.
Yeah, and I had Galladay too, but he's out, so it's like, it's kind of a toss up, really.
Man, tough.
Yeah,
Galladay being out, man, it's brutal.
I really thought he was going to be back this week too.
Me too.
I don't know. That dude can kiss my ass because I don't have to play. Like, if he's out, I don't have to play against him. So,
that's a fair point.
You know, the worst part is like when you're in multiple fantasy leagues and like, so you may have like one guy on one team, but on another team you don't have him and you're playing against them. That is the most tilting thing ever to try to cheer for.
or when you have two guys on your lineup, like the same lineup, but they're like, one is getting points, but the other's kind of negating them. That kind of thing like sucks too. And sometimes you just can't help it.
Yeah, that's crazy. Yeah, I know one of my friends. He has I have Aaron Rodgers as my quarterback, and he had Devontae Adams, and I was just like, bro, come on, kill him.
That is the worst. Yeah,
exactly. I was just like, bro, like just throw some. I mean, and I'm a Green Bay fan, so it's like, come on, man, just throw somebody else somewhere besides Devontae. I know he's your number one receiver, but come on, just.
Yeah, give Alan Lazard some targets. He deserves it.
And I have Alan Lazard too, but I mean, he's been hurt, so it's kind of go figure,
Yeah.
Well, we play head coaches in our league. So
you say what? You play head coaches,
right? Like so, you play a coach, and they get their points like based on if the team wins. And if they don't, you get negative points. And then they can build points or get even worse negative points based on the point spread and all that. So it sucks when you have a coach, like let's say I have the Packers coach and Aaron Rodgers is really building up some points, but I know the Packers are going to lose. And then it's like, okay, well, he's getting me all these points, but my coach is about to negate him. Like he'll get like negative 17 and take away like a whole bunch of those points. So that's something you have. It sucks. Like it sucks. You can go like negative 20 sometimes because
it's been a great year to own Mike Tomlin, then, huh?
Well, I have. I'm rolling with the Cardinals coach this week
in New England.
Risky.
I don't have anybody else. Like it's that or nothing. So like I'm pretty screwed with coach. So I have to go with this one. I put in for the Rams coach and somebody took him.
I even like. I mean, I'm a Rams fan. I'm wearing a Rams hat. That's going to be a tough one for the Rams. Unfortunately, short week, playing against a team off a bye.
It sounds like they might get a lot of their guys back too, right? There's a chance Richard Sherman's back this week.
Yeah, I even think Montana's coming back. They're getting everyone back. So, no one that one. But yeah, no. I actually would love to know what's going to happen in that Patriots Cardinals game. I do think it's weird that they're making all these like West Coast teams travel so much to the East Coast. The Cardinals already traveled once and played in New Jersey. Now they got to play in New England. So, I mean, the Patriots, they laid an egg in Houston, but I look for them to be okay at home. I don't know. Cody, what do you think about that game?
Berg, my question for you, something I'm just going to throw this back to you before we say what's up to Alex. Alex is joining us. Something I have to know, I don't know why I've never asked you this just in the DM, but how much of Bar Rescue is scripted? I have to know.
How much of Bar Rescue was scripted?
Yeah, like was there anything that was scripted? Like how much of that show was scripted? I have to know. I don't know why I've never asked you until this point because we've been in the league together for 3-4 years now. and I've never asked you, but how much of Bar Rescue was scripted?
First of all, I work in unscripted television, okay, my friend. So we don't script anything. And I actually would say this.
Big time of me, Berg. You're on my podcast, son.
No, I'm just saying. It's definitely not scripted. In fact, you would actually be really sad to know how pathetic some of these bars are and these bar people and how easily they are manipulated and pushed around and how easy it is to just point out the flaws. I mean, geez, it'd be really easy to script stuff. I would work a lot.
You don't have to, is what you're saying.
I mean, I think it's a lot harder work to actually not script it and keep it fresh. I mean, I'll give you an example of a behind the scenes example. I don't know if I should divulge this little nugget, but I think it's okay.
I'm here for it.
Oh boy, I don't know. It's been about 6 years since this happened. Could blow up the internet.
Nobody's watching Berg. You're fine.
Yeah. But one time we were in Denver. I mean, this is true. We just made it happen on camera. So it wasn't like we really like cheated it. So how it worked was I would go out with a camera a few days before and film a bunch of stuff. And what I was really looking for is to get, the juicy stuff on camera to be like, this is why your bar is effed up, so we could play it back for them. But at this one particular bar, it stunk. It was stinky. And they were like, yeah, a rat died. We can't find it. I'm like, okay.
Oh my God.
What?
Fair enough. So
Challenge accepted.
This is no joke. So we do a walkthrough just so the host of the show doesn't walk in kind of blind. And familiarizing with the area. I mean, the guys were working on TV. I mean, we're doing a TV show here, so it's like, just send them in, like, it's just part of how it works. And he's like, wow, it really stinks in here. And I was like, yeah. They say that they can't find this rat that died. He's like, well, have you tried to look for it? I was like, no, because that's why would I do that? Because that would spoil the whole thing. He's like, all right, well, let's look for it. I'm not even joking you. Our lead producer moved one piece of furniture and we found the rat.
Wow.
Literally almost within seconds of him saying, let's find it.
What kind of furniture?
It was like a chair, or it was not something easily movable.
Just like one of those computer chairs with wheels.
Yeah.
So how decayed was the rat?
I mean, it was it wasn't like it had been there for years, but.
And did you put the furniture back down and then we got to reshoot and
No,
show that?
So this is what we did. Yeah, we put the furniture back down and then we literally did it on camera where he went and he found it. That was we built to that for our whole act one. So it wasn't we were it wasn't we were recreating a moment that we discovered ourselves on camera. We weren't cheat, it was we weren't it wasn't a setup at all. It was the real life actuality that we just brought to life on camera. And that's basically how it works. We're not cheating it. We're not making things happen that weren't true. Everything is true. So that's
kind of amazing. That's some of them are just so unreal terrible. I honestly thought a lot of the stuff was planted or fake.
No.
You would build up.
Yeah.
So how did they know it was a dead rat? Does a dead rat have a distinctive death smell?
Yeah. Yeah. As someone who worked in a lot of bars, yeah, they do.
That is, Berg, thank you so much. I'm so happy. I've waited this long to ask you that question. Alex, what's going on, man?
Sorry, to me that's a good representation. We don't make shit up, but maybe we made things we discovered something off camera that we made happen on camera.
Yeah, that's fair.
You got to make some interesting television. Yeah.
So was that rat in one of the episodes? I need to like go back and watch that.
It is.
Oh my!
I think I've seen it.
I don't remember that one. My husband was obsessed with that show, though. I bet he does.
It's such a good show. Did you have to blur out the rat?
Yeah, like is it okay to show a dead rat?
I don't remember. That was also, I believe, the highest rated episode of Bar Rescue in the history of it happening.
Flexing on us.
Fucking awesome.
3.7 million viewers.
Were the owners embarrassed about their dead rat? Like, or were they just like, yeah, there's like a rat here somewhere? I mean, whatever. Or were they like, yeah, there's a rat?
They thought it was like in the pipes or aqueducts or what, like they're in the fucking Spanish Inquisition or some shit. Like,
wouldn't
it
you
was
think a dead rat like under a piece of furniture would have like? I mean, why would you think that's in a pipe? I would definitely think it was like right in that room.
Yeah. Well, the thing about it was, I mean, it was a hookah bar, so a lot of hookah smoke going around, kind of covered it up, probably.
Perfect cover for a dead rat. Alex, what's up, man? Where are you from? What's going on? How are you doing?
Oh, what's going on? Minnesota. So just popping in. You know, I see a link in the chat. I have to click it, and now I'm live on YouTube. So that's cool.
Could be a virus. Could be a great Emmy story. Who knows?
Exactly.
Nobody knows.
Either way, we're having fun. You know, it's already the weekend, so.
Yeah, man. What are your plans for Thanksgiving? What are you doing?
Nothing too crazy. Just getting together with like one or two people. You know, trying to stick with the guidelines here and all that. So keeping it chill this year.
What is your go-to side? What's your favorite side dish?
I'm kind of a cheese and potatoes guy. You know, here in Minnesota, we like a lot of cheese. I know it's pretty close to Wisconsin. So anything with lots of cheese on it, you're good to go.
Is that the only thing that you guys will say you have in common is love for cheese? Is that where that starts and ends?
Yeah, you know, we got cheese curds, Mount 6, cheese mashed potatoes. You know, lots of things in common with them. But yeah, other than that, Wisconsin people stay on their side, and we stay on our side.
I mean, that's fair. I don't know. I've never had cheesy mashed potatoes at Thanksgiving. That seems wrong.
Those are good though. Cheesy mashed
potatoes. But how can you put gravy on cheesy mashed potatoes? That doesn't work.
You don't.
That sounds pretty good.
So you don't. And we want the gravy in my house, so yeah, we just have the regular ones.
One of the we'll get to some of these questions. But real quick, one of the first Thanksgiving dinners that I had with my wife, whenever she had it back in my hometown, we didn't have any gravy, and she was so fucking confused. She was just like, "But you guys don't have gravy?" Like none of us ate it, so like we never fucking made gravy because no one really cared for it, and she was so upset. So now every single year she's like, "All right, we're gonna have the gravy, right? You're gonna get the gravy." So that's like the first thing at the top of our shopping list is fucking gravy. Let's jump to Byron. I think we already answered the flex question, but let's the quarterback question. Alex, I'm gonna throw this one to you. Tell me, how do you feel about this one? Jackson or Hill at QB?
Well, let's see. Lamar Jackson has not been good passing lately. He was right back to like 187, I think, passing last week, if he even plays. So I would probably stick in Hill, roll with him this week, and see what happens.
I like it.
I'm saying that with Lamar Jackson on one of my teams, and I'm stuck playing him. But I think I throw Hill in.
Let's move on to David R. David Berger, I'm going to throw this one to you. We need two of each. So let's start with the running backs. Gallman, Duke, Fournette, Balaj, Frank fucking Gore. What two of those running backs are you going to throw? And then, Kev, I'm going to throw the wide receivers to you.
Oh, I feel like I want to go. Well, first off, I want to go with post hype Kalen Balaj. I mean, he's the guy in the backfield. and that's a high point total game. I feel like that you got to go roll with that. Duke Johnson, I would love to roll Duke Johnson, but I don't know, man. I just don't know. I think I'm going to go Gallman and Blanche.
Is that a Paw Patrol that you have there, Cody?
It is. I didn't want to get up at any point, so I put.
Using a Paw Patrol to store, is that a beer?
His beer will be there on the
That is
double.
what I'm talking about. That is the highlight there.
That is my son's lunchbox. I was like, well, I'm not fucking moving, so we're gonna rock Paw Patrol. I probably shouldn't say it too loud. I might literally wake him up and he's gonna fucking start screaming if he hears Paw Patrol. Alejandro joining us, popping the questions off in the chat now, joining us live. How you doing, man?
I'm good. I'm from.
Doing good?
Yes, I'm from Mexico.
Oh,
Hey, what's up, man?
What's going on, my man?
is fantasy football big in Mexico? Like, is there like a lot of people that are playing? Do you have like a small group you always play with?
I mean, I have 2 leagues. One is like we are 10, and another is with 8 people.
Nice. That's
But
awesome.
I don't think it's really big.
No. Who's the? Do you have a favorite team that you root for?
Yeah, I am a Steelers fan. 10-0.
Oh, here we go.
Steelers.
I will claim the Steelers because of you, Alejandro. Normally, I would sit here and bitch about them and just bemoan the Steelers, but since you're rocking with them, I'm going to rock with them too. Kevin, I'm going to throw the wide receivers to you for David Adams, Jefferson, Parker, Samuel, Slayton, Watkins. Need 2 out of that group. Or I guess just 2 flex. My bad. I misread that.
You're still not reading. It says need 2 each.
My God.
Yeah.
Plus 2 flexes.
Maybe I should put this other beer away.
Yeah. So it's Adams and Jefferson. And then if I need 2 flexes, one if it was me and I'm starting running, 100% it's Wayne Gallman. Wayne Gallman was like a borderline RB1 this week in Cincinnati. The dude's already balled. Like prior to last week, like the last 4 weeks, like he'd been a top 10 running back. Like, but he was somehow widely available in every league because he plays for the Giants. But Wayne Gallman. I love Wayne Gallman this week, and I would actually go Duke Johnson among those other groups. Like I said, I think Austin Eckler plays this week. And so I think that makes Caleb Lodge an RB3.
That's a good point. It's a good point. I didn't think about that.
So, and then among the other options, it's Devontae Adams and for sure Jefferson. And then I have to flex 2. I'm going to flex Parker and Slayton.
Yeah, you got to get Slayton in there.
Patrick wants to know, should I start Jacoby Myers or Boyd? Angela, I'm going to throw that to you since you've been a little quiet. Who do you like here out of Jacoby or Boyd?
Boyd. I do like Jacoby, but I think Boyd is just going to be the safer option.
Even with Brandon Allen.
Yeah, quarterback.
I missed one.
Brandon Allen is the new quarterback.
Yeah, I mean it's no different than I mean I think it's an upgrade over Ryan Finley.
I think so too, actually.
XX. My God, so many X's.
I know.
Is that an X in the middle of the X's? We were rolling 7 rolling 7 X's.
It's their OnlyFans name.
I think it's 6. Looks like 6X.
The OnlyFans name. That is fucking fantastic. Great call. Kev, who do you got here out of Eckler, Golladay, Pittman, DK, Aaron Jones?
I'm thinking that's a trade.
Well, I thought you were just going to answer it and not.
It's not even a question. It's if that's Eckler, Golladay, and Pittman for DK and Aaron. It's fucking DK and Aaron Jones.
Yeah.
Well, X.
Click it now before they retract it. Click it.
Yeah.
John Ricky Saint, start 1. AB, Tyler Boyd, T. Higgins, Jacoby Myers in a standard league. Angela, who do you have there?
I think I'm going Boyd with that one as well.
Because that is the correct answer.
Yeah, I don't trust any of those fuckers.
Yeah.
We have another Boyd question. Telly B, I'm going to throw this one to you. Tyler Boyd or Cole Beasley?
I like Beasley. I like Beasley. I mean, because he gets a lot of targets. So
yeah, I go Beasley for sure.
He is a target guy.
Yeah, so.
Especially if John Brown is out.
But even if John Brown plays, it could be a shootout. I mean, against the Chargers.
Yeah, even if he plays for sure. But I'm just saying I love Cole Beasley. Is like if John Brown sits, I like him even more. To Gore, Myers or Aguilar. Alex, how do you feel about those two?
Myers. Oh, Jacoby Myers. I would probably go Aguilar on that one. He's had a couple of hot weeks, especially if it's. I think he scored about 14 or 15 points in half PPR. So I would pick him. I just don't trust Jacoby Myers on the Pats offense. I think they just do whatever they want each week.
It's Aguilar's world. We're living in it.
Leave it to 2020 and Derek Carr to make Aguilar a fucking fantasy option this year.
I hate to admit it, but he's balling.
Yeah, he's been playing well, taking away the targets that Henry Ruggs should be getting, and I don't even like Henry Ruggs. Carlos wants to
get me started. God,
your boy.
Yeah, I'm full Ruggs tilt over here. All right, it's terrible. I fucking hate it. This is the worst case scenario.
Like Ruggs coming out?
Yeah, like Ruggs coming out. Did you ever watch that guy play in college? He was insane.
I was.
I mean, look. I know that I know that he was in the outlier bucket. He's small. Whatever, dude. I get it.
But look what type of offense he played in.
Look what type of offense he plays in now. They give Jason Witten fucking goal line targets. I mean, give me a fucking break, dude.
John Gruden loves the vets, dude.
Derek Carrier getting goal line targets. This isn't a joke. That Derek Carrier gets goal line targets in the Raiders offense. That's what Henry Ruggs is a part of. So if you want to take the victory lap, Ruggs, whatever, that's fine.
Imagine taking Henry Ruggs whenever CeeDee Lamb was still on the board.
I don't disagree with that, but honestly, I mean, what do you think Lamb will be doing in this offense with the Raiders? Jack F. Ball. No,
because he's actually a good wide receiver.
he would be getting his targets siphoned by Aguilar just the same.
But hey, I say this though. Lamb is a better route runner than him though.
Preach.
I agree.
You gotta pay attention to the route running. Like he's just a deep ball threat. So Lamb can really space out the field and get in.
We gotta do this. We gotta do the Ruggs deep ball threat thing. Really?
But it's the truth though. So the Raiders drafted him because of Tyreek Hill, because they wanted him to be their Tyreek Hill. The problem is Tyreek Hill is in fact a unicorn, and not everybody can be Tyreek Hill. So that's the problem with Henry Ruggs. Like Henry Ruggs was fast. And that was kind of it, right? Like we think he still could progress and turn into a more nuanced route runner and somebody that's more involved in this offense. And he does, so you can't take the speed away from him. But right now, it's not looking good for him. The guy's not seeing targets. When Nelson Aguilar is getting targets over him, and Zay fucking Jones for whatever reason, like those are problems, right? And so like you can say you like whatever Henry Ruggs, like I was down a little bit further down on him than everybody else was. Coming out, like whenever we went through and did all the prospect stuff over the offseason, and I continue to be so. Like I thought it was ridiculous that he was the first wide receiver drafted. Like with CeeDee Lamb on the board, I mean every wide receiver was still available for them. So they could CeeDee, whether it was Justin Jefferson, Jerry Jeudy, like all of them were better fits for Oakland and what they want to do than Henry Ruggs.
I mean, I don't disagree with anything you're saying. I liked Ruggs. I thought he was a good prospect. I thought the hate on him was a little bit unjustified.
That he didn't have a breakout age?
That he didn't have a breakout age. He was small. I mean, I watched a lot of Henry Ruggs. The guy would just, and the idea that he's just a deep threat, I mean, the guy would literally get the ball on a screen and run it for 70 yards. I mean,
but I'm saying that's what I'm trying to tell you. That the offense he played in, like, you gotta understand. Listen, I'm an LSU fan, so I watch Alabama. You know, I'm saying that
I watched it too. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, I'm saying that he played in that type of offense to where, like, it's either a screen or a deep ball. CeeDee Lamb could have create run routes. He could have get where he needs to get. That's why I like the Lamb.
I had Lamb over Ruggs. Okay, I'm not like that's not what I'm trying to say.
I just think Derek Carr doesn't care who he throws to.
That's, I think, a big part of it. Thank you.
And that's why, whether it's Jacobs or Ruggs or Aguilar or
Derek Carrier or Jason Witten
or whatever. That's why it's so unpredictable. Whereas CeeDee Lamb's more on an offense where they,
in goal getting targets is cool. That's the offense that Ruggs is in. So I love that. Like, Ruggs haters want to like drive their Ferrari down a victory lap on an offense where, quite frankly, Ruggs probably would only get like 4 or 5 targets a game tops because Derek Carr throws it to literally the fucking water boy.
Well, anytime you can take him in the first round, first wide receiver overall, and target him twice a game, you just have to do it. Let's try and rip through some of these questions here. Angela, I'll throw this one to you before you dip out. What are your thoughts on Kamara with Taysom Hill at quarterback?
I mean, I hope that Taysom Hill takes all of Kamara's points because I have him. I mean, I think there's a chance he could get that Kamara could get a few less points, but honestly, it's Alvin Kamara, so I think he's going to be just fine. But when I think of like the running, sometimes I think about like Kyler Murray and like how he just runs all over these guys and he gets so many of the rushing touchdowns himself. And I would like to see that happen with Taysom Hill for my own benefit. But I don't know that it fully would.
He had 2 last week.
I know, exactly. But the thing with Kyler that's like different than I think with Taysom is that Kyler like really like he wants to be the star. Like he wants all those touchdowns. He wants all that glory. Like he loves the run. And like, I don't know. I feel like Taysom Hill will pass if he is able to. I don't know.
It was concerning that he had 0 receptions and only 1 target. Like, that is not something we typically see from Alvin Kamara. And it is usually a concern with running quarterback because running quarterbacks usually aren't looking to dump it down if they have to, in times when a non-mobile quarterback, can't really get out of the pocket, they're just going to dump it down to the quarterback or to the running back, which is something you see from like Drew Brees, right? When Drew Brees can't escape the pocket, he's looking for Alvin Kamara, or Taysom Hill has that mobility and he's able to get outside the pocket. Like, I think that could actually hurt Alvin Kamara. And Alvin Kamara is not he's not like a true bell cow. Like, he's not getting 70%, 80% of the touches every week. Like, he does give some to Latavius Murray. And if he's all of a sudden not going to be seeing the targets that we're accustomed to seeing, I mean, getting 1 target is obviously concerning. Now, he only played 54% of the snaps. They were ahead last week, and really kind of dominated the Falcons. But it is something to monitor here with Alvin Kamara. Like, is this going to be something we continue to see without Drew Brees because of the fact that he's able to run and get outside the pocket where they're not going to be looking necessarily to dump down to Alvin Kamara like we've been seeing and we're so accustomed to seeing. So I do think it's a concern. I'm not saying that I would like bench Alvin Kamara because you're not doing that, but it's something that definitely I would be watching because it was concerning that the guy only saw 1 target where, prior to this, he had 1 game where he only had 4 targets. But other than that, you're looking at 8, 9, 14, 10, 8, 13, 6, and 8 targets. So that is pretty concerning for him.
I'd give it another few games, and see what happens. There's only a few games left, really. But, like, I'd give it at least 1 more game.
You're playing him no matter what, so.
Yeah,
Yeah, for sure.
He did get 12 points in Scott Fish Bowl, which is juice for the running back. So, yeah, I'm a tad concerned.
Alex, do you like Deontay Johnson or Chase Claypool in a full PPR?
Deontay, he's easily leading the team in targets. Start Deontay with confidence as long as he doesn't get hurt.
Yeah.
Rabani, is there anyone that I'm potentially missing here? Is this is Keenan Allen, correct? I'm not overlooking anybody.
Oh, you gotta start Keenan Allen.
That is
Okay. I'm not overlooking anybody, right? I tend to do this.
Unless because he named Curtis, and unless he's saying Allen Robinson. Because it is confusing. He says Curtis, so I don't know.
If he has Curtis Samuel on his team, though, I feel like he should find a way to get his ass in there. The guy isn't staying those flames.
Yeah. Curtis has been balling lately.
Yeah, but I feel like either way,
yeah, you're playing
Keenan Allen, yeah,
or Allen Robinson, whoever it is, yeah,
Allen Robinson, yeah.
Angela, Derek Carr or Deshaun Watson?
That's hard because of Carr's excellent matchup this week. But I think that I would still go Watson. I mean, obviously, he's way up there for a reason. Who wouldn't play him if you have him? Don't get cute.
Does anybody feel confident on any defensive questions?
Oh yeah, this is Giants easy. They're playing Cincy.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
Lido is in the chat. We need 2 running backs, 2 wide receivers, and a flex. Let's start with the running backs. Berg, I'm going to throw the RBs to you again. Sanders, Gio, Swift, Duke.
Well, Gio is concussed, right? So he's out. Sanders, I think green light no matter what. And then I'm going to go Swift if he's playing. I mean, he had, especially at home, play the home RB. I don't trust Duke Johnson at all. I'd rather play Swift.
You need another one.
We need 2. There was 2, right?
I'm glad you said that because these 2 have a serious boner for Duke Johnson, and I cannot understand it. They have literally jizzing erections for this dude, and he has done nothing in the last 2 games.
Yeah.
Listen, considering your Twitter handle is half chubs, we can run around here with full jizz erections if we want to.
I follow.
Yeah,
I
I've
don't
got
know if anyone
quarter chub for that dude.
I don't know if anyone follows John McClain, the Houston beat writer, on Twitter, but the guy literally lampoons the Houston play calling. He when David Johnson when he was full on the RB1 there, he would be like, "Oh, David Johnson for 3 yards, good job," or something. He was that's the Houston running back game. Unless Duke is getting first off, Deshaun doesn't check down to him, fact. And also, he doesn't have a ton of goal line work. Darren he throws to Darren Fells at the goal line. That's just reality we live in. We need to accept it. It sucks. I don't like it either. It is what it is. I would love to start. Listen, and what's crazy is last year, Duke Johnson, I believe, was the most efficient per touch for fantasy points. But at the same time, as a small sample size, he didn't get a lot of touches. So I'm still riding Swift and Sanders on this one. It said pick 2 RBs, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's not even a question. Yeah, it's definitely those 2.
Telly, out of these wide receivers, who do you like with Godwin, Ridley, A-Rob, Metcalf, and Chark? We need 2 of those, and probably our flex too. So let's pick 3.
Well, DK is locked in, period. So I'm not even gonna talk about that. Ridley, I like Ridley, but he's up and down. But I would start Ridley. Goodwin and A-Rob. You see, Goodwin is he's a great wide receiver, but being an AB came, it kind of take away from his value too. So it's kind of up and down with him because he needs a lot of targets to produce. So but I don't know. I would probably run with. I'd still probably run with Goodwin because he has a safer floor too as well. So I'd probably run with Goodwin, DK, Goodwin, and Ridley. Goodwin would be a flex for me though. I'll probably have Ridley as a wide receiver too.
I would go A-Rob over
Yeah.
Godwin.
I think if I had A-Rob as a flex, I would be very happy.
A-Rob.
Yeah,
DK
that
and
is-
Ridley are your top wide receivers. Run AB or A-Rod in flex.
That is a filthy group of
Godwin's
receivers.
good too. I
Yeah,
mean,
that's a lot
Godwin,
of-
he can hit any time too. You just never know.
Yeah. That's
Okay, I'm going to throw this one to you. Tam needs a wide receiver 2, Aguilar, Marvin Jones, or Boyd.
Marvin Jones with Kenny Golladay out. I mean, this is he's probably locked into at least 10 targets.
How do you feel about this one, Kev? Full PPR for Kyle, Boyd, Monty, or Duke?
Everybody's obsessed with Duke.
Well, listen, he's the RB1 on the Texans. I get it.
You got to play the guys that you got, right?
Why nobody should have him though? Like I dropped him.
People have him. Come on.
You got to cut ties.
I dropped him 2 weeks ago.
Thank you.
I think you got to play Montgomery, to be honest.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
I agree.
He has a lot of volume. Everything goes to Montgomery, really.
Kev, if Mostert comes back this week, what are your expectations?
No, are you guys done?
Oh, making the joke? Yeah.
I mean, I think it's tough to trust because, I mean, the dude's obviously explosive, right? In the limited times that he's played this year, the dude's went off. But I think if you've held on to him, I think at the very least he probably makes for a solid, at least flex option for the most part. Their ending schedule too is fantastic for the 49ers as well. So I don't mind. I think, like I said, I think at worst he's an RB3, but I think he certainly has high end RB2 upside.
Yeah, I mean the guy he's a home run hitter, right? You have to factor that in, especially when you need home runs towards the end of the season. So
I like the guy, but I think people coming back from a long extended stay always tend to fuck you that first game back. Not always, but many.
Yeah, they get
Yeah.
they get a test drive and that's it. I'd probably sit
Yeah.
him 1 week and see what happens, unless you really need a flex.
Yeah.
No, this one, if Eckler is playing, it's Eckler, but you might not even have that option.
Disagreed.
Yeah.
Disagreed. I would go Gallman.
See, I have both, so I like this question.
But what is your fascination with the Giants, Kev? Giants defense, Wayne Gallman.
What's
Why
there
do you
not to
think
like?
Gallman?
Tell me what there is not to like about Wayne Gallman going against the Cincinnati Bengals.
Yeah, that's
Yes.
a good one.
Yeah.
All right.
Goldman is.
gentlemen and Angela, I have to leave you guys. I'm sorry.
Yeah,
Bird,
Dave Wayne
appreciate you
too.
jumping in, man.
My
No,
son.
thanks for having me on. It was great
Yeah,
to
man,
talk.
have a good Thanksgiving. Enjoy
Hey, have a
the,
great Thanksgiving, everyone.
enjoy the coffee pot mixed drinks.
Thank you. I will.
Yeah, the coffee.
All right, brother. Thank you, man.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
All right, Kevin, I'm going to throw this one to you since you're the Wayne Gallman connoisseur. Gallman, Deontay Johnson, Chris Carson, Chase Claypool. Pick 2 for Carlos.
Wayne Gallman and Deontay.
More Wayne Gallman for you, Kev. Gallman, Carson, Drake, Davis.
Mike Davis and Gallman.
Angela, I'm going to throw this one to you. 2 wide receivers and a flex. A.J. Brown, Deontay, Evans, Gio, A-Rob.
Definitely not Gio. I'm gonna go Deontay. I mean, that one's like a given, I feel like. And then I'm gonna go Evans and Robinson.
Alex, I'm going to throw this one to you from John Ricky. Edwards or Damian Harris in the flex? Up. Alex, you muted yourself. I'm trying to unmute you, but it's telling me that I cannot do so.
Sorry. Sorry. If Mark Ingram and J.K. Dobbins play because it's moved to Sunday, then scratch Gus Edwards and play Damian Harris. If they're out, then play Gus Edwards.
They are definitely out because they tested positive. So even with that moving to Sunday, they're
Really? Okay.
Yep, they're still going to be out.
They're untrustworthy anyway.
Kev, on this trade for Rabani, Rodgers and DK for Brady and Tyreek?
No, you keep Rodgers and Metcalf.
Really?
I like Tyreek, but Tom Brady, I much preferred Aaron Rodgers to Tom Brady. And DK Metcalf has just been a monster.
You're goddamn
I gotta
right.
say, I don't approve of Aaron Rodgers' new girlfriend, though.
Hey, that's me.
That's hilarious. Well, hey, Alex, you're pretty fucking chill too, buddy. Thanks for jumping on. Rabani also has another question: Gaskin or Mostert the rest of the way? Telly, how do you feel about those two running backs?
Gaskin or Mostert? I like Gaskin. I prefer Gaskins over Mostert. Because the simple fact of the matter, he's a third down back, and they just give him the ball. He catch out of the backfield. Mostert, you never know, because it's like that with Shanahan's offense, he rotates all these running backs, so you never know. Even if Mostert is performing the way he's performing, I just prefer Gaskin. Safer floor.
Mostert's got a good schedule, though.
I know.
Yeah, I think all the San Francisco running backs sucked without Mostert there. So if he's healthy, I'd say him. But if he comes back and he's iffy and they're like keeping him on snap count or something, then no.
Yeah, he can fumble one time and it's like, you're out of here. Whatever. It's crazy. I prefer Gaskin though.
Angela, going to throw this one to you, being the Green Bay fan. Devontae Adams, would you trade Devontae Adams for a starting running back and a good wide receiver? A little difficult to answer. Yeah.
Yeah, like I don't even know who this person has on their team or anything. I mean, I don't know. That's a pretty hard one to trade, though.
Why
are you dissatisfied?
He's a number one wide receiver, really?
Yeah,
work your way down the list.
How is he wrong,
Henry, yes.
Well, I mean, Derrick Henry because of the volume, but
if it's James Robinson,
something else to that though. Like you can't, because that's your number one wide receiver in fantasy.
I think you got to keep Adams and be grateful you have him.
Yeah, especially since the way this is worded with a starting running back, like you're kind of leaving that pretty open for basically just like an RB2, I would assume, and a good wide receiver. So it looks like you're trying to break down Adams into like a tier below wide receiver and then getting like a flex level running back. And I would just hold Devontae at that point. Andrew, if you're still rocking with us, let us know if there's any particular targets that you're going after. Kev, JT or Clyde?
Clyde.
Miles or Gallman?
Miles.
Angela, Hurst or Ertz? If Ertz plays, seems like he's on track to potentially return.
Hurst, same thing I was saying before. I don't like the first game coming off an injury, and you can't trust a tight end either way. So you really it's like double distrust. So I'm going Hurst.
Yeah, and I think does Zach Ertz look like full on dad white New Balances whenever he comes back too? Because that's what he looked like before he was out there.
Not only did he look like the dad the white New Balances, but it looks like the ones he's been using for the lawn for the past 4 years. Owen Clayton wants to know, should I play Clyde, Curtis Samuel, or Ronald Jones? Alex, how do you feel about that one?
CEH. Yeah, you can't trust Ronald Jones.
Telly, going to throw this one to you since you were talking up Curtis Samuel a little bit. Are you going Curtis Samuel or Claypool?
I take Curtis Samuel this week.
Here's an interesting one. Would you trade Dalvin Cook for CMC and Kittle? Kev, how do you feel about that trade?
I think you can do it, but it's really risky because we don't know if George Kittle's actually going to come back or not. There's been talk that he could actually return, but I think it's really going to depend on if they're actually even in playoff contention. and it's going to be tough for them to make to turn it around, and to be able to get to that point. So CMC is definitely not coming back this week. I believe they're on bye next week, so his best opportunity to come back would be week 14, which would be when the playoffs start, and then you also have a bye. So then you really just need him, for 15 and 16. And to be honest with you, more I think about it, I would actually definitely make that trade, mainly because Dalvin Cook's schedule for those last 3 weeks are absolutely brutal. And if you can get somebody like Christian McCaffrey for it, and you already locked the playoffs with a bye, yes, definitely do that.
I think it depends on who your tight end is too. If you have someone who's higher up than like TJ Hawkinson, Jonnu Smith, something like that, maybe not. But if you're streaming the tight ends, then you probably want to take that.
AG, should I start Austin Eckler? I mean, if he's active, I'm playing him. I'm not nervous with that matchup. The Bills' defense has not been what we thought it was going to be coming into this year. So I think as long as he's active and we don't hear anything about a pitch count, I would feel confident start rolling out Eckler. Kev, Austin B is out here flexing on us. My RBs are stacked. Need 3 of them. Gibson, Chubb, Sanders, Robinson.
So Chubb for sure. Miles Sanders is also a lock, and then it would.
Antonio.
Yeah, I think I would go Antonio Gibson. Yeah.
Angela unfortunately has to jump out. Has a grumpy 4-year-old, and the husband just doesn't know what the hell he is doing. So, Angela, we really appreciate you jumping on with us. It was a lot of fun getting to chat with you. Hopefully, you join us again soon.
I would love to. Thanks for having me, guys, and I hope you guys rub one out to Duke Johnson this weekend. Bye.
You know we will.
And what a fucking sign off. What that might be one of my favorite exits in show history. Robert Miley has a question for the group: Juju or Diggs? I really don't think we have to talk about this one. To be quite honest, this is easily Diggs.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Brian Hill, Watson, or Carr? Full PPR, definitely important for Brian. Which QB you rolling out? I think we already answered this one, right?
Yeah, I think we.
Yeah, it was Watson. Alex, who do you like between Pittman or A-Rob?
Let's see. I'd probably would go. Ooh, that's a tough one.
Is it?
It is a little bit. Pittman's been on a hot streak, but I love A-Rob, so I'm going to go A-Rob.
My man. Telly, going to throw this one to you. Mike Davis or Miles Sanders?
Sanders for me.
Kev, Newton or Tom Brady?
Brady.
Going to come back to you for this one as well. Jordan needs 2. Connor, Swift, Saban, or Mostert?
Definitely Connor and Swift.
Yep.
Telly, looking for a flex for Roberto Vidal, half PPR, Mostert, Eckler, A-Rob, or Monty?
Half PPR. I'm going Montgomery.
You go Monty over A-Rob?
I mean, he gets more touches than A-Rob. Because if you think about it, he's the quarterback too. Like he don't. With Allen Robinson, like the quarterback situation is a little different and sketchy. So, but Montgomery gets a lot of the touches. So.
Mitchell Trubisky is starting. They confirmed today.
So he's starting.
Yeah. So he got 8 to 9 targets on average with him during the 3 games he started.
But then Alexander's playing too. So you feel what I'm saying? I'm a Green Bay fan, so Alexander's playing. So Allen Robinson not getting those touches like that. So that's why I said Montgomery.
As a Minnesota player, not worried about Alexander.
hey, I'm saying I'd rather Montgomery because the floor is safer than Allen Robinson because you don't never know what you're gonna get out of Mike Trubisky. Like You don't know if he's gonna throw or he's gonna just run. Like you never know who you're gonna get out of Trubisky. Like I prefer Montgomery because it's just your floor. Your floor is more safe with Montgomery than Allen Robinson.
Kev, who do you like here out of this group? Raheem, Eckler. I mean, those two might not even play, but let's assume all of them are playing and we get good news on all of them. Who do you like out of this group?
If all of them are playing, I mean, I like Eckler because Justin is a great quarterback, and he Eckler catches out of the backfield and he looks for his running backs as well. So, I mean, I would try Eckler too. I would try Eckler if Eckler's playing. I'll go with Eckler.
I would go Allen Robinson here. I just don't know if you can trust the full if he's going to get a full workload coming off injury. They tend to rotate running backs anyways, and so I just think Allen Robinson makes. I mean, you can pretty much lock him in for 10 to 15 targets,
as if he will catch those targets.
It's not as if can he catch them. It's are they going to be accurate targets? I think is the better question.
Yeah,
are they catchable? Not can he catch them?
Exactly. Are they catchable targets? That's what I'm saying.
More catchable than a third string.
Kev, I've got a question here from Chris. Flex and a half PPR. Cup, Cooks, Parker. Oh my god.
I would go Cup.
I just scrolled to the bottom. Todd, I don't know who you're talking about, but I think we were all big, sexy men. Can we go shirtless? I mean, this isn't an OnlyFans, but I mean, maybe. I don't know. I thought we were getting close to catching up, and then realized we are not. So let's try and roll through these. It is getting late
Rapid
here
fire.
on. What were you saying, Alex?
Let's go rapid fire.
Let's go. I'm going to throw this first one to you then, Alex. Hayden wants to know Sanders or Jacobs.
Miles Sanders.
Telly, Ridley or McLaurin?
McLaurin. Easily.
Kev, would you keep using Goddard or go Ertz now that he's back?
Yes.
Kev, also Jefferson or Woods?
Woods.
Chinks out. Oh, okay. All right. DJ Chark. Yeah. I don't know what the fuck you're getting
I
at.
had to look closer to the emoji there. Like, what's going on?
Drugs out here talking about ecstasy or some other. I don't know what the fuck you were doing there. Telly, who do you like? Do you like Chark or Pittman?
I'll go with Pittman.
The lady has left the building, but it's a question from Trey nonetheless. Kevin, if those one to you, choose two: Deontay, Cooks, Woods, Swift, Gurley.
Deontay and Swift.
Follow David's suggestions. Drop a like. If there was a fire button, you should hit that too. Telly, Henry or Zeke?
Henry or Zeke. I would take Henry because he gets a bulk load of touches. I'm sorry, you got to get a Henry.
And DeForest Buckner hit the COVID list as well, which would be a big boost for Henry. Is Eckler coming back this week? I mean, possible. He came back from he's practicing. I mean, that's really all we know. That he squats approximately 600 pounds. Crunchy or smooth peanut butter? This is I want to get everyone's just quick take on this. I'm gonna start with Kev. Kev, crunchy or smooth?
I think I'm gonna go smooth.
Smooth all day.
Telly.
Man, I like my crunchy.
It doesn't matter. Peanut butter is fucking delicious. It doesn't matter. You could put it on a fucking dried dog turd and I'd probably still eat it. Kev, coming to you with this one. Cesar needs 4 My God, that avatar. Ayuk, Claypool, Jefferson, McLaurin, AB, AJB. We're not even considering T. Higgins. So who do you got out of these four?
McLaurin, Jefferson, Claypool, and A.J. Brown.
Telly, Garcia needs to bench one of these. Robbie Anderson, Brandon Cooks, A-Rob. Who are you benching out of these three?
Robbie Anderson.
Alex, coming to you for this one. Need to sit one in a PPR for John. Chubb, Zeke, Davis.
It's between Zeke or Mike Davis. Play Chubb for sure. I'm going to go ahead and sit Mike Davis in this one, but I'm not sold on either.
Zeke every week, no matter what. No, because the schedule coming up is absolutely brutal. But I do think whenever McCaffrey comes back, you're going to have to pivot off of Mike Davis without knowing who else you have sitting behind there. So it's going to be Chubb and Zeke if you don't have any other options. Which Broncos wideout should I have on my bench? Telly, going to throw this one to you. Judy or pick up, Tim Patrick or Hamler, basically.
Why do you have to have a Broncos wide receiver?
Yeah. So he keeps Judy.
He's fine. He's fine. He got lots of targets last week.
Yeah.
Keep playing.
Should I sit out on my bench? Keep Judy or pick up another. I'll just keep Judy. I wouldn't pick up another wideout from the Broncos. Like, who else gets the most targets but Judy? Really?
It's like tossing away a penny and picking up a penny. Like, oh, this is great.
Like, why would I even pick up another wide receiver from the Broncos?
Kev, Jonnu or Hurst?
If Julio is out, it's definitely Hurst.
Yeah.
Ethan Wang wants to know A-Rob with no QB or Chris Godwin. Telly, how you feel on that one?
Has A-Rob ever had a quarterback, though? Like, what is that?
He never did, really. I don't know, man. Allen Robinson is an alpha wide receiver, so I just can't really be like, no. A-Rob, I'm not even gonna lie. I would pick A-Rob though, because he's just an alpha receiver, so it doesn't really matter. Like he can just get it anywhere on the field. So I'll go A-Rob.
Kev, Gallman or Mike Davis?
This is actually close, but I would go Mike Davis here.
And also, just realized those guys were being massive fucking douchebags in the chat. So I'm glad Angela was out of there. Appreciate everyone in the chat who was slamming those fucking Jagaloons. So appreciate you guys. Krish wants to know pick 2 in a PPR. Telly, who you got here out of Godwin, Jefferson, A-Rob?
PPR, pick 2. Man, Jefferson and A-Rob. Yeah, Jefferson and A-Rob.
Okay, we got Captain Caveman. Sahil just traded Wayne Gallman and A.J. Brown for Devontae Parker. What do you think? Kev, what are your thoughts on this one?
I think he gave up way too much.
Dang, he gave up a lot. Wayne Gallman, A.J. Brown.
Yeah, I don't love that.
Devontae Parker has pretty much been, like a wide receiver 3 for most of the year. And like I mentioned with Wayne Gallman, since Wayne Gallman has taken over, he's been a top 10 running back. So the last 4 games he's played, 16, 13, 14, and 19. 2 of those are wide receiver, or 3 of them, 3 of the 4 weeks he's been an RB1. He's put up RB1 weeks. So like Wayne Gallman has been legit. So I don't really love giving him up. And then the fact you give up AJ Brown, you gave up way too much.
Yeah,
Wow.
that is kind of interesting that you had to add to AJ Brown to get Parker. Like you should have gotten something back with Parker, not the.
I think
not
if
the
those
other way
wide
around.
receivers were flipped and it was Wayne Gallman for Devontae Parker, or Wayne Gallman and Devontae Parker for AJ, that was closer.
Yeah.
Because I was not giving up 2 for 1 for Devontae. It was not happening.
So he'll come to us next time before you make the trade. You gave up a little bit too much there, but hey, you live and you learn. Subscribe. Come back next time. Kev, start one here for Mark Boyd, Chark, Shepard.
Oh, did you see the comment? So it was actually for Devontae Adams, not Devontae Parker. So that changes the whole.
Oh, okay. Okay. Yeah.
Great.
So that
great
I'm
trade.
fine with.
Yes.
Yeah, that I'm okay with.
That's a good
That worked.
Either that or Sahil was like, man, I just got fucking roasted. I need to switch this up real quick.
Yeah.
Yeah. So if that's Adams, good on you. Yes, 1,000%, absolutely. Glad you caught that, Kev. Going back to you, Boyd, Chark, Shepard here for Mark.
I want to go Boyd.
Alex, how do you feel about this? And would you trade Brady for Damian Harris and Devontae Parker if you have Wilson at quarterback?
Yeah, do it. Brady kind of sucks this year. System QB, he's not doing well. He's either getting 20-ish points or he's getting 8 points. So, yeah, if you got Russell Wilson, run him and get those two to fill your depth.
Yeah.
Telly, coming to you for this one. Need star 2 for Rodolfo. Thank you for joining us. We really appreciate it. If you're still rocking with us, you guys are awesome. Please hit that subscribe button if you're still with us. And also, if you want to jump on these last couple of minutes, scroll up. The link to jump on with Alex and Telly is in the chat a little bit higher. So looking at this list, Telly, who do you want start 2? Eckler, Gaskin, Sanders, Jacobs.
Gaskin and Sanders. That's what I'm starting.
Jordan says, aloha. Full PPR QBs get 4 points. Ooh, super flex. I like it. Cam Newton or Deontay Johnson. Kev, how you feeling on that one with the 4 point for quarterback touchdowns?
You still go Cam Newton there. And a super flex.
Ravens defense this week or the Saints?
The Saints.
Yeah, the Saints there. Alex, going to throw this one to you. Need 2 running backs here for Ronnie. McKissick, Duke, Carson, Monty.
I don't like McKissick. I don't like Duke as much as Kevin does. I will go Carson and Montgomery probably for that one. If Carson is like full health, if he's splitting with everyone, then maybe Duke. But probably Carson, Montgomery.
Do you need to clarify here? Okay, I don't love Duke. I said it is a great matchup against the Lions. The Lions defense, especially the run defense, has been atrocious. And so on that point, like they're not a terrible play, or he's not a terrible play in that situation. But
sorry, I might have hopped in a little late then. I just thought you were like a Duke Johnson truther.
No, not at all. So in this matchup, in this game, I think that he's like a low end RB2, high end RB3. I think is where he sits.
Kev, Brady or Taysom Hill?
Brady.
Half PPR need 3. Telly, going to throw this one to you. Claypool, A-Rob, DJ Moore, Cooks, Jonathan Taylor.
Half PPR. I like Claypool Hey, Rob.
Don't fuck up on this last one, Telly.
I know. I'm staring at it like, okay, hold on. I can't even lie to you, man. I would take Brandon Cooks on this one. I would, because Detroit thinking they're horrible. I'd take Brandon Cooks. Yeah.
Kev, throwing this one to you. Aloha out here with that cash. If Swift and deflects McLaurin out, because McLaurin is questionable, even though today's practice report said that he was estimated at full. Seems like he should go. Who should I go out of AB, AJB, Ayuk, Harris, Balaj, Pittman?
I mean, I would go Pittman, but McLaurin's definitely playing.
So that wouldn't even matter. Alex, Goff or Wentz?
Wentz sucks. Or he has been lately. I mean, he might even get benched this next week if he keeps it up. It might be Hurts time on there, so I'd go Goff, just knowing that you're going to have a guy who's going to play all 4 quarters.
Kev, where do you have these two in your ranks?
I have Carson Wentz at 12, and I have Jared Goff at our quarterback 24, 25. Like, he is I cannot start him under really any circumstance. You'd have to be completely desperate for me to want to start Jared Goff in a matchup against San Francisco.
Even after he just threw for 832 yards?
Yeah.
I think unless you're in like a 14 or 16 team league, there's got to be better people on the waiver wire than one of them.
Carson Wentz, like, I get it. Like, it's easy, like, especially recency bias sets in for him because the last couple of weeks he has struggled. But we've seen the ceiling. I mean, he can drop 30 points. He did it against Pittsburgh. He did it against Baltimore. Much harder defenses. Some of it plays into the struggle. It has been the weather that they've had to play in the last couple of weeks. It's been atrocious. I mean, we've seen 40 to 50 mile an hour wind and stuff like that. So that's obviously going to play a factor in some of that. Obviously, in fantasy football, we don't necessarily take that into consideration or care about that because we're just looking for the fantasy points. But those things certainly matter. Like, this game against Seattle is a fantastic matchup. Like, Seattle's defense has been so fucking bad this year. Like, everybody has torched them. Everybody.
Yeah.
And so in this matchup, when they're going to have all their weapons back, Zach Ertz is back now, Dallas Goedert, Jalen Reagor has the potential to explode in this game. Like, there's literally nobody on the Seattle side that can stop this offense that they have with Miles Sanders. So, like, this is the get right game. Like, this is the game where he goes out and drops 35 and I think gets back on track. And so, like, I love Carson Wentz. If he fails this week, then he's probably done, because this is the matchup, like, where it's really, really hard for me to see where he's going to fail in this matchup.
Yeah, I like Wentz in that matchup too. You can't pass up that. Like, it's just too much. Like, you're a fool not to start Wentz for golf.
Kev, do any of these waiver options? Rel was actually in a 14-team league. Do any of these waiver options jump out to you?
And if you need a quarterback, I would go Daniel Jones, at least for this week. I mean, Cincinnati.
Are you rolling Jones over Wentz though?
No,
I would go Wentz.
Taysom or Big Ben?
It's Taysom for me.
And then also in this long list, Kev, would you consider playing Gibson if McLaurin is out? Would you play Gibson over Pittman?
Yeah, it would be Gibson then. Yeah, but you're playing, and I would also ask, like, who do you have at running? Like, who are you starting at running back besides Swift? Because, like, I have Antonio Gibson as a top 10 running back this week. So,
Telly, going to throw this one to you, Clyde or James Conner?
James Conner. I would go with Conner. I would rather pick Conner. I think he might. I think he might have a breakout game because he's due for one. Because he hasn't been inconsistent, so he's due for one. I think he could have won this game.
I love Mike Tomlin, but I want to punch him in the fucking throat for always putting Benny Snell in at the goal line.
You see, that's man. I have Connor, and I just be this. Like it dreads me. I just be like, you fucking serious right now?
I'm about as frustrated as that as Josh Jacobs when Devontae Parker busts out a 40 and runs into the end zone. I'm like, what is going on?
I think the worst one actually though was it last week or the week before with Miles Sanders where he loses a touchdown to Boston Scott, and then the Corey Clement gets one touch, one snap the entire game, but it was on the goal line, and he took a touchdown away from Miles Sanders, and I'm like, fuck you, Doug Peterson, you son of a bitch. Like, what are you doing? Like Miles Sanders was killing it, like killed it the entire game, going up and down the field. And as soon as he got close to the goal line, it's like, all right, come sit down, man. Like, you done this good. Let's throw Corey Clement's busted ass in here.
One of my leagues is Josh Jacobs and Miles Sanders as my running backs. So I felt it that week.
Or the Nick Chubb when he went out on the 1 yard line. Like, I get what he was trying to do because he was trying to do the anti-Todd Gurley where he fell into the end zone. But that game, like, it was over. Like, it didn't matter had he scored or not. Like, this wasn't that situation. So I was tilting whenever he went out at the one.
Me too. I'd be like, just fall. It's okay. You can score. It's all right.
Alex, who do you like out of Lamar or Derek Carr?
They're actually pretty close. I'd say they're probably both right around like quarterback 10, 11 for me. Derek Carr's been on a roll, so I'd pick him. If you pick Lamar, you're hoping he just runs a touchdown in.
Thanks.
Like Carr, there's where as well. Tam, appreciate you rocking with us. It is way too unfortunate. It's way too common. I wish I wouldn't have scrolled down and thought that that one dude was being funny when in fact he was being a massive fucking douche nozzle. So appreciate you you rocking with us, Tam, and you should fucking hit us up some. You should have jumped in. What are you doing? You've been rocking with us the entire show. Should have just jumped in. Tam, you're gonna have to jump on with us at some point.
Yeah, Tam, I will say I got a Yahoo Pro League right now, and my girlfriend is in first place, and I'm in ninth. So
hell yeah,
it can totally happen. She's rocking it right now, and it didn't help her in the draft or anything. So you guys can totally do it just the same. I mean, if not better.
Yeah,
dude. So some of
very strategic, man.
Some of the most fun shows that we've done, like the ladies' night, Kev, that we did a few months back, like so much fun, so much. She was my girlfriend at the time. My wife did a league and was like fucking sitting at like 8-0, 9-0 at some point, and like she would ask me a couple of questions, and everything I told her was wrong. She's like, I'm not fucking asking you anymore. So that was and then she started to lose, and she's one of those people who like can't. She's such a sore loser, so she knows that she's bad at like. Do you guys call it mini golfing or goofy golfing, or do you call it both?
It's
mini
putt-putt, Maple Grove in Minnesota,
or putt-putt. Yeah, those are the two.
Yeah. Mini golf, putt-putt.
Yeah.
We have literally never gone because she's bad, and like she's like I know I'm gonna lose, so I'm not even gonna have fucking fun. So we're not going. We've been together going on 8 years and have not gone. Like that's just such a standard fucking cliche. Like, oh, go fucking putt and we'll get ice cream or something. You know what I mean? Like, nope, not Katie. She's like, no, I'm gonna fucking lose. I'm just gonna get pissed, and she just quits on the spot. Kev, Jordan Lane needs 2, maybe 3. Connor, Swift, man, we have a lot of fucking Mostert and Ahmed questions tonight.
It's Connor and Swift, and then I guess if they both of them play, I would probably go Mostert.
Yeah.
If you need, I need a 2, maybe 3. I would say probably Ahmed on that last one, just for safety's sake on the Mostert, because last time he started 1 game in and he blew out his knee or whatever. So I think you need to see more than 1 game out of him to run him with confidence.
The nice thing about Mostert, though, is he could just pop off a 70-yard touchdown and then get hurt.
Exactly.
Ahmed, on the other hand, Ahmed's basically been doing the same thing that Myles Gaskin has been doing. Like we're only interested in them because they're volume plays. Like they haven't been doing great. Like I think if it's Connor and Swift, but then if Swift doesn't play and those last 2 do, I'm rocking Mostert because they have no reason to start Mostert unless he's fully healthy, because I don't really see them making a run here at all. Stuart, thanks for popping in. If you have yet to subscribe, please go ahead and do that. We're already rocking it. I think it was like 7:10. I think the last time I looked. Really, truly appreciate the support and all this engagement outside of the fucking douche nozzles who jumped in. Telly, I'm coming at you with this one. Start 2 for Eli, DJ Moore, Deontay. Another fucking Moser question.
Man. Well, Deontay is a start, period. This most of the question. I mean, it just depends if he's healthy. Like that's a toss up in a sense. So it's like I would kind of lean on DJ Moore. I would lean on DJ Moore on this one. So
I like his matchup too as well. I think even if Mercer starts, I'm rolling out the first 2 on there, and then going back to Aloha, the running backs are Henry and Swift, and that was the bench for Aloha there. Last Fish, always holding it down for us over on Twitch. Appreciate you jumping in here. Not really start sit, but pick a winner in each of these games. Let's start with the first. My God, Dolphins versus Jets. That's the Fins. Browns versus Jags. Browns. The Jags just put DJ Hayden and Josh Allen on IR. So if you needed for whatever reason any more reason to attack the Jags defense, there's 2. And then this last one, Niners or Rams. I'll throw that to you guys. I'm gonna take the easy ones, and I'm just gonna sit back.
Yeah, Rams.
Defense.
Their defense is killing it right now. So just I would. I do. I'm in a Pick'ems league, so start
Nice.
Rams with confidence. Let's go.
Yeah, their front 4 has been really getting in the backfield, and Ramsey and what's the other guy on the other side? Williams, I think, for the other side of the round. I don't know his name, but he's been playing good on the other side of the ball. So I'll pick the Rams on this one.
Alex, what are you drinking?
Coors Light. Beer.
There you go.
The beer of the breakfast beer of America.
Kev, AB or Boyd for another great avatar. Good for you, Ashton. You like AB or Boyd?
I'm gonna go Boyd. It's really close, but I'd probably go Boyd.
I did miss this in last Fish's question. Do we feel great about? I mean, Browns.
I feel great about all 3 of those picks, actually. Jets are tanking, so they'll do whatever they can to lose. So start the Dolphins. Browns are killing it currently with the run game, so start the Browns, and Rams will win against the 49ers. I would definitely pick all 3 of those.
Telly, if go ahead.
No, go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say for Telly to rank those in terms of confidence, with most confident to least. How do you feel about those winners in those games?
Rank with confidence. Well, I can really say like between The Dolphins and the Jets. It's just the Dolphins. Me personally, it's not even a question or debate because the Jets are just so it really doesn't even matter. And I mean it will go from the Dolphins won. The Dolphins won. The Dolphins won, and the Rams too. Because you see, with the Browns and the Jaguars, you never know what you get out of Baker Mayfield. That's one person he's everywhere. I mean, the run they can run the ball, but it's just if they can't run the ball, then if he has to pass, is But I go with the Dolphins 1 and the Rams 2, and then the Browns 3.
Everybody's a winner. Ashley Schaefer, BMW. Juan Castillo wants to know, should I start Hunter Henry, Wayne Gallman, Antonio Brown as my flex? Kev, what do you have for Juan?
Wayne.
At first I thought I fucked up a name there. I thought when I said Juan, I thought you were correcting me and saying Wayne. I was like, oh, dude, I can't fucking read tonight. Austin Giesta wants to know, trade Duke Johnson and Carlos Hyde for Derek Carr, or trade Duke for Lindsey to stash for the playoffs. Goff is my QB, lost Dak and Breeze.
No, I mean, who's available on the waiver wire? I think that's a better question because I hate trading for a quarterback, and you're not going to don't trade for Derek Carr.
Really?
Like Derek Carr, like Derek Carr's been playing well in like real life football, but in terms of fantasy football, he doesn't have a whole lot of success. I think his highest fantasy point output is 24. That's not great. Like on the season, they do get to this matchup against Atlanta, but then even after that, their schedule tightens up, and it's not as great. There's certainly some games in there that are appealing. There's some other that are bad ones, but you never should trade for a quarterback. Quite literally never, unless somebody's giving you just a steal of a trade. It's just never a smart move to trade for a quarterback because usually on the waiver wire, there's plenty of quarterbacks that you can pick up.
Yeah, I agree with Kevin. I wouldn't do either one of those trades, to be honest. I mean, I don't think trading away Duke Johnson for Lindsey. Lindsey has not been as involved as they were hoping. It just seems like they don't know what to do with the running back situation in Denver. And Duke Johnson, like I said, you wouldn't want to trade a running back with how shallow they are this year for Derek Carr when you could get multiple QBs on the waiver wire who can score close to 20 points.
Agreed. Austin, let us know who if you're still rocking with us, let us know what your waiver looks like for a quarterback, and we'll help you out there. But I would also hold on to Duke with how thin everything is. I think Lindsey has more upside in general, but they just haven't, even though he's been looking better than Melvin Gordon for most of the weeks, they're just not giving him the work for whatever reason. Kev, coming to you for this one for Aiden. Pittman, Boyd, Higgins, or AB in a PPR?
Pittman.
Winnie the Pooh joining us. Appreciate you jumping in. Good to see you in here. 2 running backs and a flex in a standard. Rojo, my God, what is all these fucking Gio, Savon Ahmed, and Raheem Mostert questions? Well, Rojo is the only one who's guaranteed to start, so you're just by default locking in Rojo. Tan, you got to go hit the waivers here, buddy. Gio might not play, Savon might not play, and Mostert might not play as well.
Are you picking up Samaje Perine?
I mean,
Travion Williams?
Listen, I thought it was going to be Travion Williams' season, and it has not been. Fucking Samaj. All this bullshit talk from the combine with Zach out here talking about how much they love Travion Williams, and it's fucking Samaje, dusty ass, running to the back of the fucking offensive lineman, Perine, out here. It just makes no fucking sense.
No.
Judging by his options, he might have to pick up Samaje Perine and start him. I would not do so willingly. I wouldn't want to do it. I would make yourself throw up, and then I guess hit submit whenever you throw that lineup in there. Try and get all those demons out first, and then press submit. Because chances are, if you need 3 of these 4, I don't think all those guys are playing.
Yeah. That's horrible.
That said, probably the first 3. I don't think Mostert plays this week.
It doesn't really sound like Gio's going to play either, because I mean, if he's going to come up with a concussion, it's highly unlikely he's going to be able to pass in that.
I totally missed that one.
Yeah, so he came up on the injury report, just like DeAndre Swift last week, where he popped up today with the concussion.
Okay, missed that one.
Yep. I'm going to assume Kyler Murray is going to be okay. But let's say he doesn't. Tanny or Taysom.
Taysom Hill.
Taysom for sure, and I have Kyler, so I'm hoping he plays, but Taysom.
Has there been any other word on Gordon's DUI case? I think it's going to get pushed to the
anyway. After season,
right?
It got pushed back a couple weeks, so I bet the NFL doesn't hand anything down to him until after season, and then it's probably like first 3-4 weeks of next season.
Following the waves, Kev, coming to you on this one. We need 2 wide receivers out of this group: Chark, Moore, Boyd, Corey Davis, Amari Cooper. Well, I guess we need 3 anyway. I was expecting a running back to be here. We need 3 of these. One of them is going in the flex.
So I cannot play DJ Chark with fucking Mike Glennon. I cannot. This year has just been fucking wild. Mike Glennon's really a starting quarterback in 2020, but no, I can't play him. So it's DJ Moore, it's Corey Davis, and Amari.
Man, Corey Davis. I'm so glad that it's finally happening. 2 running backs out of this group: Drake, Clyde, Ahmed, Duke, Fournette.
It's more than that because I have Stuart Morrison on. Is that a different one than yours? Okay. 2 running backs and 1 wide receiver and a flex. So we got lots of.
Yeah, let's break this down. Let's start with the 2 running backs first.
Okay. CH and Drake would be mine.
Kev, you playing Drake over Duke?
Yes.
What about wide receiver? Pittman, Myers, Boyd, Debo. Is Debo
Pittman
playing?
Yeah, he's another one of the guys that are trying to get back this week. Yeah.
Okay.
Probably Pittman. Myers, you're hoping for a touchdown or some sort of gadget play where he throws.
And Boyd, you're just hoping for 15 targets and 6 of them are catchable. What about for the flex here for Stewart?
If Debo plays, it'd probably be Debo.
Yeah.
And I'll say this too. Like I was looking at it, I was surprised. Debo is actually kind of widely available. Like he's a lot of people have dropped him. He's available. He's available in like almost 50% of leagues.
Yeah. Ashton can play 2 of these if all of them are healthy. Balaj, Hunt, Carson. Hunt and Carson if they're if they're healthy. Waivers dry. Dan, I would how are your wide receivers looking? Potentially look at making a trade unless you have somebody who's just chilling there injured. If you're sitting there at 8-3 and Rojo is your RB1 and you're sitting there with Gio, Savon. And I mean, I guess if Mostert comes back, you might be all right. But well, let us know if you can. I mean, unless your trade deadline is already passed, if you're sitting at 8-3, you gotta do something there. For Tam, Ben or Carr, and an IDP league, Tam. That's awesome.
If it was me, I would play Derek Carr.
What is an IDP league?
Independent defensive player, which way you can play like defensive players.
Yeah, look, instead of playing a team defense, you're playing Aaron Donald, and you know what I mean. Like you're picking individual. It's just so much fun.
Does that affect a QB though?
No, I think Tam's just. I think Tam's flexing on you, Alex. For you not knowing. So we rolling Carr here.
Yeah.
Juan Castillo, Jonnu or Fant, Kev.
I'm gonna go with. I'm gonna go Noah Fant.
Fading your boy.
It's not bad.
Appreciate the love and support in the chat. We're gonna finish this out. Fulgham, Parker, or Swift. Telly, who do you like out of that trio?
Flex. Is Swift playing? Swift is playing, or he's not?
It's not 100% confirmed, but it sounds like he's gonna play.
I mean, if he's playing, it's Swift. But if he's not, Parker.
Yep.
Dominic needed a stud running back to pair with Clyde. Traded Julio, Monty, Hooper for Elliott, AB, and Schultz. Good move.
Are we being honest? Are we in a circle of trust right now? Are we?
Cool. Are we in a safe place?
No, because that is not, in my opinion. And the reason mainly being is that Ezekiel Elliott upcoming schedule
fucking brutal
is bad, like really, really bad. And so if it's, and he's not really. The scary thing too is like his snaps are starting to go down. They're starting to use Tony Pollard a little bit more, and some of that could be load management because they're clearly not. Well, I shouldn't say they're clearly not going to the playoffs because that division's so fucking bad that is still a possibility. But I think as a team, you probably understand the fact that even if you win and if you were to make the playoffs, they're not going anywhere because that team is still not good enough. Their defense is still trash. Andy Dalton's not leading you anywhere in the playoffs. So, but they are starting to lower his touches, and he's not seeing targets anymore either, like he was earlier in the year. So it's just not a good situation for Zeke. Like this was kind of like when we talked about this like on the buy sell show we did a couple of weeks ago, the last one we did, where if he went off like this past week, like this was the perfect buying or selling opportunity. Once he kind of bounced back and had a good game again. So if you could, like, I don't want any part of Zeke. Like, I would be looking to sell Zeke if I could still trade.
Yeah.
I think you could try to get a few for him. I don't know. Julio, top wide receiver, Montgomery, he's dropped at the moment, or he's down at the moment, and Hooper and Schultz are about even. So really what you did was trade Julio for Elliott and Antonio Brown. Julio Montgomery for Elliott and Antonio Brown. I don't know.
Montgomery's back this week, so.
Yeah, I think it's probably about even. I wouldn't have done it just to trade.
Yeah, you're adding the stud name in Elliott, but I don't know if you're going to get that stud production down the stretch. Kev, PPR for Aiden needs a tight end. Goddard, Schultz, Gesicki.
I would add Goddard, even with Zach Ertz coming back. I think it actually could help. So, like we've been seeing a lot of Richard Rodgers lately, getting a lot of those targets and everything this past couple of weeks. And I think now with Zach Ertz coming back, I think you actually see that go to Dallas Goedert. And Dallas Goedert, like earlier in the year, like before he got hurt, it was looking like it was going to be explosion year for Dallas Goedert before he got hurt. And now that Zach Ertz is back, I think you see Zach Ertz staying more and just in line and block, and it really opens things up for Dallas Goedert. So I still want Dallas Goedert.
Does this change anything for you guys with the trade, with having Tyreek, Herbert, and Kelsey, and trading away Julio, Monty, and Hooper for Elliott, A.B. Schultz?
Tyreek and Kelsey.
Yeah, I mean, maybe that's probably okay if Tyreek's your number one. I like Julio more than Tyreek, to be honest. So I might have flip-flopped those two. Just it seems like Julio is more of just, especially if you're in a PPR or half PPR, it seems like he gets more. Tyreek Hill's more of that big play guy, and he does get them, but he also has those a few games a season where he gets like 2 to 7 points.
And wait till Sammy Watkins comes back. It's gonna ruin everything. Eduardo wants to know CeeDee Lamb or JT for a half PPR. Kev.
I'm going to go Lamb.
I was leaning that way too.
Actually, I think you can drop Jimmy Graham if you have Hunter Henry. I'd rather have Lazard as that stash. We're going to get out of here on this one. About to piss my pants. Tam wants to know, pick one: pumpkin, apple, cherry, peach. I mean, if we're just talking a starter for this week, it's pumpkin, but rest of the season, I want cherry.
More of an apple guy myself.
Agreed.
Yeah, I like apple.
Fuck you guys. Last one. Rel wants to know, pick 3: Rager, DJ Moore, Deontay Johnson, Jerry Jeudy, Justin Jefferson. Kev, what you say?
Deontay, Jefferson, and DJ Moore.
Yep.
There you go, guys. We appreciate it. Telly, Alex, thank you so much for jumping on and joining us. It was a pleasure to get to chop it up with you guys. Hope all you guys have a safe and a healthy and a happy Thanksgiving. We will be going live on Sunday morning at 11 a.m. to answer the rest of your questions. If you have any other questions, drop them in the YouTube chat. We will get to them. Appreciate all the subs. If you've not yet subbed, please go ahead and do so. And until next time, have a good holiday. Bye.